10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're about to start the stream. So let me just change my camera to this one here. There we go. Hi, everybody. This camera here. Hi, everybody. How's it going? And welcome to VR Essentials. Hope you guys are doing super well. So today, as promised, we're going to be doing the power turn on, not the unboxing, of this headset here, which is the DPVR E4, E4 4K, although they don't say 4K, but it is a 4K headset, not per eye. The entire eyes, everything combined together is 4K. So we're very excited to be able to set this up for the very first time today, as I've never turned it on yet. In fact, I'm going to have to put the cable in here first, and I'm going to have to put the cable in the computer, and then we'll download the software from the website. So I'm going to show you how to do the setup today with my good old buddy, VR Realm, who's going to help us out also and give us his feedback, his tips, his tricks, and his impressions as to what it's like to actually use the DPVR E4, because he's been using it for a little while, and also he used it, I believe, before the latest update that occurred very recently with the DPVR, excuse me. And yeah, so there's been some updates. It's been really, really cool. So we're going to be talking about all those kind of different things. Also, I'm going to give you my first impressions after I put the headset on, and the graphics, you know, whether there's a lot of what we call screen door effect, which means that there's a little layer between the actual gameplay inside and the lenses with tiny, tiny little pixels. It occurs a lot on older headsets, like for example, the Oculus Quest 1 had a lot of screen door effect. The HP Reverb G2, not so much screen door effect anymore. I have to say it's pretty much gone. And I imagine that with the new Pimax and of course the latest big screen headset, Beyond must be absolutely amazing with amazing graphics too. So it's going to be very interesting to see, because this headset is not very expensive. It's only 530 or whatever around there, euros and dollars. And it's available worldwide now. So you can buy it in Europe. You can also buy it in US via Amazon. In Europe, there are certain distributors that you can go through. And I think it's a 2-day delivery, and also they have a 1-year guarantee, you know, if anything happens to it. So, you know, warranty, excuse me. So, you know, they have good care. The question is this going to, you know, is this really going to be my new go-to VR headset instead of the HP Reverb G2, which I've been super happy with for the last 2 years? It's just that HP have, you know, unfortunately stopped most of the VR development for consumers. So we don't expect, well, you never know, but as far as we know, you know, most of the people have been transitioned to other departments. They closed the actual VR department for the HP Reverb G2 development. So we don't expect a G3. So, you know, it begs the question, if you buy a G2 today, well, will you get the customer care? Can you get the parts replaced? If you buy it, will you get a new cable? Is it available? You know, all these kind of different things which can make people feel a little bit nervous when they're spending, you know, $500 more US dollars, right? So is this the go-to budget consumer PCVR headset now, instead of, let's say, the G2, if you cannot afford the Beyond? Also, with the big screen Beyond, by the way, you do need base stations, which is, you know, it can be a little bit, you know, you have to get extra base stations, it's extra stuff, it's extra gear, it's extra expenses, extra things to set up. So even though it's got its good, you know, having base stations means you can track your controllers at the back. You basically will never lose controller tracking whatsoever. But, you know, it's not for everybody. You know, or whether you want to spend, you know, thousands plus dollars on the new Pimax that came out, the Crystal, you know, that's also something to consider. This is really a budget VR headset. It is not meant for those who want to spend thousands of dollars, especially if you don't have a PC and you're looking to get a PC. Then, you know, I have an RTX 2070 i7 9700K. It's very much a medium build with an Asus 11 motherboard. You know, you could probably buy secondhand for like $700 US or 700 euros. New, it will probably cost you at the most $1,300 US. So very much a budget PC, medium build, but very, very good. Personally speaking, you know, they say that ignorance is bliss. So I haven't tried a 3000 card or 4000 card. I'm perfectly happy with my 2070 card. So I'm not going to upgrade until someone puts me in a 3000. I go, dang, why didn't I change before that? So, okay, let me just take off the plastic of this thing first. So I do recommend that for the part that is where you plug in your cable, you remove the plastic, because it's very possible that this part will heat up. So let me just remove that. And do go and check out the unboxing video that we did yesterday, and make sure you hit the notification bell after you subscribe, because now I'm doing a lot more live streams on the channel, as I really, unfortunately, I'm not able to make time to do edited videos. I do a lot more live streams, and live streams are sometimes more interesting because you really get to see what's going on live. You know, I'll be playing a lot of different VR things, you know, car sims, flight sims, FPV, FPS, you know, all kinds of different experiences in VR using the E4. So make sure to hit the notification bell after you subscribe, so you don't get to miss these awesome live streams that are coming very, very soon. I'll try to live stream at least twice a week on the channel. Okay. All right. So the plastic's off, and we will be having a guest, guys, just in case you missed it. The VR Realm's going to be here. Very cool guy. And, you know, he's been using the DPVR E4 for quite a while. So he's going to be able to give us his feedback, his tips, you know, and guide us through, you know, how to set it up properly and maximize potentially, you know, our gameplay with the actual E4. Guys, don't be shy. Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you want to know about this specific headset, so we can ask the VR Realm. And also, you know, if we can't give you the answers today, we can always get back to you later. And let us know what VR titles you want me to try tonight. What I'll do now is we'll go to the actual focus group that I did first. So let me go there, and then we're going to read some comments before we start the live stream, because you guys are super awesome and it's important to give back to you. All right, let me just go to the community, your channel. Okay, we go to community. Okay, there we go. So we did a poll, and 21 votes, guys. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for voting. You guys are absolutely awesome. So what major shout out to VR Essentials gang for fueling our epic unboxing. Over 100 people, VR hipsters, that you are rock the scene as we put the game changing DPVR E4 to the test against HP Reverb G2 and the Pico 4 yesterday. So guys, do make sure to go and watch the unboxing yesterday, as I did a lot of comparisons with the HP Reverb G2 and the Pico 4 in terms of the build quality, the comfort, the FOV, the controllers, the comfort as well. So we talked about a lot of different things yesterday during the unboxing. So go and check out that video after today's live stream. I really recommend that you do that. So 24% of you said that you want to see through the lens with some car sims. Okay. 43% say that you want to do Half-Life Alyx. You want me to do Half-Life Alyx gameplay. Okay. All right. That seems to be the majority of people. 10% say contractors gameplay with the tracking testing. Okay. Walking Dead gameplay, only 14%. Wow, you guys are not into horror, and you know what? Thank you so much, because I didn't want to do that one. So thank you for not voting so much on that one today. And then there are also some comments. So let me just go to the comments and see what you... Aceto Corta. Okay, cool. And also, Juan Cusa, hola to you. Welcome to VR Essentials, man. Thank you very much for coming to the channel. Hola, that's Spanish. Are you from Mexico, Argentina, Spain? Where you from, Run? It'd be great to know where you're from. I'm here based in Singapore. By the way, guys, it's 11:15 p.m. for me, and tomorrow is Monday. I will try to keep the stream under less than 2 hours if I can. Otherwise, it'll be a tough day tomorrow, but never mind. It's all worth it for you guys. All right, let's read some comments first before we start the actual setup of the DPVR E4. So let me go to the comment section. There we go. And Poe is hanging tight. He's there from the VR Realm. He'll be here very soon also. So very much looking forward to having him on the channel. And prepare your questions for him also, because he'll be helping us and guiding us through the setup and all that kind of different stuff. Okay, Brig Guy 3940. Let me just make it bigger so you guys can read the comments also. Okay, let me make it bigger. There we go. All right, so Briguy3940 said, sounds like somebody... Okay, I read this one yesterday, so sorry, I'm not going to reread it again. Okay, Cup of Noodles YT says, if loudness equal... This is about the HP Reverb G2 tips for the best audio setup. All you need to know, do go and check out that video for those who have a G2 or are curious about HP. If loudness equalization is what I think it is, I'd leave that off, as it's probably compressing the audio, so quiet sounds are louder and louder sounds are quieter, thus getting rid of the intended audio dynamics for whatever you're listening to. Thank you very much for the tip. He also says, however, it may help with the problem of speakers getting distorted, since it would be lowering the gain when it gets louder. Okay, very interesting. So trade-offs, if the settings is what I think it is. Personally speaking, I don't have any issues with the audio anymore. This video still works today for most of us, I think. So do go and check it out. Let me just heart his comments and just say thank you. There we go. Yeah, so the audio now with the G2, no issues whatsoever. It's absolutely fantastic headset. And we can ask VR Realm what kind of headset he uses, because he doesn't only use the DPVR headset, by the way. Okay, Ultraleap, where are all the promised follow-up videos? Very sorry, they will be coming very, very soon. This is Wax 72nd VFW. So let me just put coming soon. There we go. And okay, time for one more comment. And guys, do leave all your questions and your comments below in the comment box, so that I can answer any potential queries you may have. Let me know where you guys from. Don't be shy. This is a very safe space. It might be your first time to the stream. Very nice to meet you. Don't be shy. Just say hi. Just say hi. And make sure, guys, also to leave your comment, to hit the likes. Say thank you to DPVR for sending this, even though they're not sponsoring, the video with cash or whatever. They did send me this, but I will give you an unbiased first impressions and review tonight when we do the power turn on. But please smash the likes to thank them, because it's thanks to people like that to support our channel, and quite frankly, they don't have to support our channel. We're relatively, guys, a small community compared to other communities who have 30, 40, 50, 100,000 community members. We're getting there, but we're still relatively small. So they didn't have to send us a unit. They could have sent it to Mike VR Races or Cass and Cherry or other people, but they sent it to us. So we're very thankful. So smash those. Okay, I can hear you much better now. Let me just bring the actual music down, because for some reason it went back up again. Okay, I'm just going to stop the music. I think that'll be the best, actually. Okay, stop the music. All right, cool, awesome. So, guys, very excited here to have the VR Realm. Please hit the likes and welcome him. He does a very cool, he's got some streaming going on. He's been in VR for quite a while. And honestly, what really impresses me the most about him is the fact that he's a super creative guy. And he's a lot on Neos, and he did his own character, his own avatar that you see today, and he's just able to maneuver in a way in Neos that is just like the Matrix. So when you watch the Matrix movie and you see the guy behind the computer, trying to figure out where Neo is and all that kind of stuff, and you can read the Matrix, well, that's basically VR Realm. So very, very cool guy. VR Realm, where can we find your stream?
Over on Twitch. Twitch.tv, the VR Realm.
All right, so it's twitch.tv/the VR Realm. So VR as in VR, and then Realm. Okay. All right, guys. So, oh, cool. We got some people talking in the chat, so that's pretty cool. And I love New Zealand, by the way. Happy Drive. I was actually thinking of moving there, to be honest, but it's a little bit difficult for foreigners to move there. But it's wonderful. Absolutely love New Zealand over there. And thank you very much for joining the stream, because it must be a little bit late in New Zealand, though, I would imagine. And Ewan Galloway, hey, how you doing? Poor sound is good. Okay, thank you very much for that. Really, really appreciate it. And okay, Hyperdrive says nice. Cool, awesome. All right, guys, so let's now move on to the actual... we're going to start the setup. So, Paul, what did you do first when you started the setup of the E4? Like, what makes more sense to begin with?
And I connected the cable to that breakout box first.
You connected the cable first. All right, so let's do that. Let me just do this. Okay, cool. Let me just double tap. There we go. So guys, the cable is basically this one. And as I was showing yesterday, there's a display port there, and then you have the USB here, and then you have this part that connects inside of the actual headset. So let me just get rid of the thing. Do you know how long the cable is? I think it has to be what, 3 meters or so? Do you know? Or I got no idea.
Got no idea. Let's have a look.
No idea. It must be 3 meters because it seems pretty long. Yeah, the cable is at least 3 meters. It's pretty long.
Yeah, I can say it's a decent length. Yeah.
All right. So when you get the headset for the first time, this will already be put in here. So I didn't actually have to do anything at all. It was already put here. Paul, can I ask you something about the controllers? Did you receive a battery in your controllers? Because I didn't get any battery in mine.
No, no.
Okay, so to confirm, there are no batteries with the controllers, guys. It wasn't just me.
It seems there's like a slot for them to go in the box, but they're just not there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It
Me.
seems like there is a slot in the box. You're absolutely right. Okay, so I need to be very careful here because I want to make sure I don't put it in the wrong place. So the actual part in here is very... Let me change my focus settings. One moment. Okay, never mind. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Okay. Oh, it's not tracking my face anymore. All right. Okay. So basically, the box is actually pretty deep, so it's pretty hard to see whether you have to put it up or down. Is there a way to know? Is there a way to know if it's up or down, Paul? Do you know, or you just
anyway? I think it's the same. I think it's just the same shape all the way around, isn't it? I think.
Oh, it's the same shape, is it?
Just put it in. I didn't look when I put mine in.
It's definitely not the same shape. Okay. Unfortunately, my focus menu setting is not set to the whole picture. It's set to track my face this time. I forgot to change the setting. Okay, so basically you have to look inside with some light or something to know if whether it's going to be up or the down side. All right, give me a moment. Okay, so one way doesn't seem to actually go in, to be honest with you. So I guess that's how you get to know which way it is. Yeah, okay. So there's no, what they've done is they've provided some security, some safety, so that if it doesn't fit, it's not going to go all the way down. So you're not going to actually break this part, which is good, because on the G2, there isn't that. So it's quite easy to know whether, it's quite easy to actually damage this part of the headset. But on here, you can't actually bring it down because it's going to stop you if it's not the right way. So that's all good.
I must have just got lucky and put it in the right way the first time.
Yeah, I think you were lucky. Awesome. All right, and okay, so we need a screwdriver. So give me a moment, guys.
He's trusting me with his stream.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So you basically need a screwdriver to screw the two screws on the side so that the cable doesn't come off, basically. All right. I can't remember the name of the screwdriver you need. So it's the flat one, not the diamond shaped one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to say I could tell you as well. I know the diamond shaped one's like a Phillips screwdriver, but I don't know about the other one.
Okay. Wow, you know more than me, man. I didn't even know it's called a Phillip.
It might
It's not
just
a
be
Jack Daniels. It's a Phillip.
It might just be in the UK, that though. That might just be what I've been taught they are.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Whilst I'm doing this, can you give us some history about your avatar? I'd love to know more about why you chose that avatar, because it's what you're known for, and I think it's pretty cool.
So it was weird because I basically first started. I'll see if I've still got my original avatar, and yeah, I might do, like as a Ready Play Me avatar, and then I just wanted something different. So the Ready Play Me ones are free. So let me just. So I originally started with. I'll disappear for a bit. I'll come back in with this one.
Wow.
And like, I just redid the textures, found the texture files and redid the texture files, so it was like different to the one that you can download off the Ready Play Me. I just thought I wanted something more unique to me. And moved on to like the Rexonium, but it was a very standard looking one. See if I've got a standard looking one in here. I've probably got them all over. So then I went into this one and just put glasses and a jacket and a bandana on it. Then I just started to learn more and more about stuff, and then eventually settled on what I'm on now. And I've had this one for quite a while now. The one I'm using. I just wanted something a bit different, and the model itself, the actual character model, I bought off Gumroad. A guy sells them. There's a lot of these type of Rex-owning characters in Neos, and it's the one. When I seen it, I thought, oh, this is the one I like. I like
Right.
this model. But then I've obviously added the hair, did the
Yeah, you've done a lot of
textures.
work to it, right? You've done a lot of work to
Put
it.
the clothes on, the arms. So like it's very unique to what else is in here. Just by messing about and adding extra things on. When I do bump into people in the Neos, they always say I'm the most dressed one they've ever seen.
Yeah, I can believe that. For those who are not familiar with Neos, by the way, it's a social media VR metaverse platform that's hooked up to the blockchain as well. So it's a really, really interesting place, and it's really going to develop in an amazing way. And let me know, how did you come across DPVR's headset? Since when have you been using the DPVR headset, by the way?
I just came across them on people talk about them on Twitter, and I just thought, you know what, I'll reach out and speak to the team, and then they're like, oh yeah, if you want us to send you one, we can.
That's awesome.
I've been using it since, I would like to say, about a month and a half now.
Okay. Cool. So the VR Realm's been using his version of the DPVR headset for almost a couple months, guys. So that's pretty cool. It's going to really be amazing to have some good insights with him. And which leads me to, I've actually put the cable. So now what I'm going to do, Paul, is I see that there's a thing here. So this is for the power, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me just change the camera. There we go.
So I've been using it around 2 months because I put my review out on the 21st of April, and I had a few weeks of testing with it before reviewing it. So
okay.
So I've been using it since around the beginning of April.
Awesome. All right. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug in the headset, one in the display port, the other one in the USB-A, and then I'm going to power on. Should I power on the headset, or should I wait until I download the software, Paul?
I would download the software first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shall I download the software first now, and then after that put in the computer?
I would
say so. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so guys, what we're going to do in that case is I'm going to share my screen so Paul can see what we're doing as well. Okay, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go directly to the... okay, I'm just going to wait. Okay, there we go, so he can see it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the DPVR E4 website. And then you just go to DPVR. Now, if you are outside of China, it sometimes can take some time to load, just so you know. I think maybe some of the servers are based in China, because I've had some issues of loading sometimes. So we go to do we go to downloads? Where's the software?
I think this downloads at the bottom, I think, on the...
Okay. I'm going to downloads and then see what's happening. Oh, okay. It brings me to the same page. All right. The software is somewhere here. Where is the software? Okay, I'm trying to locate the software. I saw it before. Okay, where's the software? Where are you?
It's not I went to downloads at the bottom. Is it downloads at the bottom? At the very bottom in all these?
Developer Center. Let me go there. I saw it the other day. There was two. There were two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can get it from. But they should just have a link here and make it really easy, so that we basically don't have to, look for it, I guess. Or maybe I'm just blind. Where's the software download button? Not quite sure. Let me see if I opened up another.
So you need to, when you click on download, you should have an option of support tools. So if you click on downloads at the top.
Yeah, I did that.
It should give you support tools, and then it's DPVR Assistant in there.
Okay, yeah, it must be here. Okay, there we go. DPVR Assistant. All right, duh. Maybe it's just because it's almost midnight for me, so probably just tired. All right, so DPVR Assistant software download. Okay.
So what I liked about this is, if you have a PC and you want to know if you can run it, the top download is for on the E4. You can download that. It's just a tool that will tell you if your computer's powerful enough. It'll check each part of your computer and say, yes, this will run.
Oh, you mean the testing tool here? Where it says download testing tool. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you do need the minimum requirement, I believe, is an i5 and also 1080 NVIDIA card. I'm not sure whether it runs with non-NVIDIA cards and non-Intel CPU, just to let you guys know.
So at the moment, I can let you know it doesn't work. It supports up to 90 hertz mode on the name of the other brand's gone. Asus, is it?
Ryzen?
Ryzen, yeah. It supports up to 90 hertz. 120 hertz mode doesn't work at the moment.
Okay. Right, got it. Okay, well, hopefully, because they've been doing quite a lot of updates lately as well, and DPVR are quite proactive. So I'm sure that they'll, look out at all these kind of different things. All right, so it's loaded me here. Did it download anything? No, right? No, it hasn't yet. So it loaded me to this page after clicking. So let me click again, I guess. Okay, so now it's downloaded the software. It's a 630 megabyte file, just so you guys know. And wow, 10 years ago, this would have taken me a week to download. And now it's like, boom, like within 10 seconds. That's crazy. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to hit the open button. Actually, I'm going to go to show in folder. So there it is. And I'm going to run as... Why does it change icon? Where has it gone? Oh. Okay, it's gone somewhere for some reason. Okay, never mind. Let me click open. Maybe my antivirus.
I'm going to say the antivirus stopped it.
I think, yeah, it looks like that my antivirus actually kicked it out. Quit this. Quit that. Okay, so give me a minute, guys. So we're doing everything live, as I mentioned before. Threats resolved. Okay, so it's resolved the threat, which means that hopefully it hasn't startup open. No. Okay, origin. Is there a way for me to just remove from history? Exclude this program. Yes. Confirm exclusion. Yes. Okay. So normally it should be... okay, let me just download it again because it'll be easier for me to do that. Only take 10 seconds anyway. That's the power of live, everyone, is that you really get to see how long it takes me to do this as a first-time customer. So if you have an antivirus, guys, this might occur to you. I use Norton, by the way. Show in folder. Okay, it's there. Let me run it very quickly. There we go. All right. Oh, Windows cannot access a specified device powerful file. You may not have the appropriate... Okay, so it's analyzing again. Otherwise, I have to basically go to my antivirus and somehow find it, which is an extra step for me, and it's not something I'm used to doing, to be honest with you. Okay, so it's still analyzing, so I just need to wait. Threat resolved. View details. Okay. Threat name. Okay, I don't want to open this. Origin. More info. Okay, I don't want to do this. All right, let me just switch off my antivirus very quickly. Your data is at risk. Fix now. Online. Oh, this is the online stuff, so I don't really care about that. Okay, let me go to settings. I think it is firewall. Is it here? My Norton. Oh, okay. Let me go back. Firewall and switch off. Okay, there we go. There should be a master button somewhere. I just don't know where it is, guys. Sorry about that. I don't do this every day. This takes me a while to do. Apply for 15 minutes. Yes. 15 minutes. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, anything else I need to switch off? No. Okay. I think that's it, really. Subscription, that's my subscription, all right. Is there anything else I need to switch off? Feature setup. Let me get rid of that. So guys, do leave all your questions in the comments below, and do make sure you hit the notification bell after you subscribe, as I'll be doing a lot of different live streams with the E4, of course. Okay, let me just see if there's anything else I need to turn off from here. Software updater, no. Okay, I think there's nothing else from here. Let me go here. Launch view. Classic. Okay. Go back home. All right, I think that's it. So let me just try once more. Okay, so DPVR, if you're watching the stream, just to let you know, this is what some people may have to do. Let's download it again. And then hopefully this time it works. That'll be great. So I have the same issue with the Pico, to be honest. But I've never had the issue with HP. And I've never had the issue with Oculus either. With Meta, sorry, now it's Meta. Open, let's see if it works. You have no available online storage left. Yes, I know that. Okay, hopefully it works this time. Yes, now it works. And of course, the software might get deleted after 1 hour. Hope not. Hope not.
Hopefully, just
I think the downloader.
Yeah.
I think the downloader will get killed off, but the software, once it's installed, should be fine. Okay, so now it's testing my PC configuration. So normally it should be all fine because I meet the requirements. So let's see how long it takes. Was it quite fast, this process for you, Paul, when you were doing it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. There we
Okay,
go,
cool.
yeah.
Okay, guys, so you do need minimum 8 GB, if I'm not wrong, and a 1080 RTX for NVIDIA anyway, and you need at least Microsoft 10, I believe. Okay, here. Okay, so
it's weird. They've hit the accept button at the bottom, like you accept the terms and conditions. Like on
that's what it is. I was like,
me a
what
while
the
to
hell
spot
is
that.
going on? Yeah, why is the install button ghosted? Like, do I have to choose another? Like, I'm like, what the dude? No, okay. As Paul said, thank you very much. You have to click here, and then the install button appears. He sounds so glad he's here.
It's normally above the install button, isn't it?
Exactly.
On the wall, you know you feel the funk. Don't be shy.
Nice little music there. All right, nice.
One step on the floor. Now don't contemplate, no time to think. Let your body just lose control. All you gotta really do is just bust a move and then let the good times roll. Now everybody, if you came to rock the place, then you can now all lift your hands. You can be precise and do whatever you like, cause we can turn it all into. Yeah, jump and jumping, get jumping, yeah, yeah, jumping,
Because the one issue I had with video is it makes it look like it's wireless because he's not got any sort of cable anywhere on the headset.
Sorry, I couldn't actually hear you there, Paul, because the music of the installation is playing.
Hey, you
It's still playing.
on the wall, you know you feel the funk. Don't be shy to the beat, just move your feet and take one step on the floor. Now don't contemplate, no time to think. Let your body just lose control. All you gotta really do is just bust a move and then let the good times roll. Now everybody, if you came to rock the place, then you can now all lift your hands. You can be precise and do whatever you like, cause we can turn it all into yeah, jumping, jumping, get jumping, yeah, jumping, jumping, get up, jump up, come on and get jumping, jump up, jump up.
So welcome to VR Essentials, everybody. We're installing the software of the DPVR Assistant live.
On the wall, you know you feel the funk. Don't be shy to the beat, just move your feet and take one step on the floor. Now don't contemplate, no time to think. Let your body just lose control. All you gotta really do is just bust a move and then let the good times roll. Now everybody, if you came to rock the place, then you can now all lift your hands. You can be precise and do whatever you like. Cause we can turn
All right, so I think it's finished because oh, something's happening again. And Paul, you can see everything live, so you have no latency on your end, which is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to create an actual thing. Oh, okay, so you can sign in with WeChat. That's, of course, that makes sense because, you know, for those who are in China. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change my camera very, very quickly. And we're going to go here. And I'm just going to create an account very, very quickly. Let me go to here. And I'm going to just stop presenting for just a moment. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, actually, no, you can see my screen still, so I'm gonna change the camera. Okay, let me just create a thing, account. Where's the DPVR thing gone? Where's it gone? Oh, here it is. Okay, so basically the screen is not on the web, it's on the desktop. All right, so let me just create a sign in with email. I'm gonna sign up. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna sign up, email. I'm gonna use the VR Essentials at yahoo.com. So basically you just put your email, then you choose a password. Okay, there we go. Then you click on I read things, and then you, oh, actually you can't see my password, so it's all good. Let me just show you guys so you can see it. Okay, let me go here. Present again your entire screen. Yes, boom, done. And then let me change camera again. Done. There we go, done. Let me bring that down. So basically, yeah, so you just put your whatever account, your password, and then you click on the I've read here, and then click next. There we go. That's it. Okay, so they send you a pin. All right, so for this though, I am going to change the camera. Okay, let me go to my email. Okay, let me sign in. Let me get the pin. Okay, here it is. Copy. And then paste. There we go. Verify email. Okay, cool. We're done with that. So let me change once more. Let me go to here. Okay, and then I'm a male, yes. Year, I always forget my birthday. So, I mean, the birthday that I choose on these things. So I generally just, there we go, just pick fake birthday. There we go. So it's easy to remember. Date, oh, I can't be 2003. 23, I mean. Invalid password.
So I had this problem.
Oh, okay.
I think you can. Or did I get
Okay.
past
Well,
it?
what we can do is we can just sign in.
I think
oh,
there's a skip thing. Is it?
you could go as a visitor if not.
Yeah.
That's
I
another option.
think that's what I ended up doing. I think because it was telling me I couldn't.
Right, but if you sign in as a visitor though, does it remember like because you're not downloading any games, right? All the games are streamed from SteamVR.
Yeah.
Do you know what the difference is like between being a visitor and actually signing? Like because I would imagine they give you an account, but what is that account for? If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because there's no game library, right, at the moment.
No, it's all just SteamVR based.
Right. I know that with the DPVR. I know that with the DPVR P1 Pro 4K, there is a library. Account was not found. Okay. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we'll just do that then. Let's just sign in as a visitor to begin with, and then I'll do all the other stuff later. It's possible that you don't need an account right now because there is no game library as such. So maybe they're working on that in the back end, and then later in a future update they will introduce this to us. So I'll talk to the team and ask them and see what is the the thing on that. Okay, some instructions. Please connect your headset to the PC. So let's do that right away, guys. Let me just change change camera. There we go.
So as he showed earlier, it's just a display port and USB that goes on the back of the PC. I showed it off earlier.
Can you still see my screen, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see the other camera, right? The top view?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so there's one display port and one USB. It's very, very simple, guys. Just like the G2 or, any other VR headset, I guess. There's just two cables, so very simple. So guys, if the computer switches off for any reason whatsoever, don't worry, it won't kill the stream. It will keep the stream going, and I will just need to restart my computer for the cameras to see everything. So don't worry so much if the computer for whatever reason switches off because I unplug something or something. Okay, so I accidentally switched off my screen. All right, so I just removed the HP Reverb G2. Very, very excited. Is it going to replace my G2, guys? You need to hit the notification bell after you subscribe to see all the various different live streams I'll be doing with the E4. All right, now I'm plugging in the display port. All right, display port's in. Now I'm going to put the USB.
As well, if anyone in the UK is watching this, they are bringing it out in the UK from a UK warehouse as well. You order it direct through them, and they're going to be shipping it from warehouses in the UK.
Oh, nice.
The 18th of this month, I believe it is.
So in June, if you're in the UK, they'll deliver it directly from DPVR UK, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you won't need to go through a third party like Best Buy or whatever.
No, it'll just come direct from them from a UK warehouse that they've got set up.
Nice. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to plug the power adapter into the it's just like the G2. There's a little box with the plug. and then you just plug it in, and then you plug the power adapter in the power socket. I thought I plugged in my G2 by mistake because the actual box looks so similar. But thank God there's a DPVR logo on the box, so no, it's not the G2 one. All right, so. All right, so now I'm going to actually turn on the actual power itself. There should be an LED that will show up on the actual box. Yes, there's a white LED. Let me see if I can show you. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's tiny, right? Really, really tiny. But basically, there's an LED on the actual box to let you know that it's switched on. All right, guys, so let me see what's next. Okay, so let me see. Let me just change to format, change layout, tiled. There you go, so I can see you. Okay, there we go, it's better. All right, guys, so the headset switched on. But there's nothing happening on the headset at this moment in time because we need to finish the setup. So let's do that together. All right, so connect the 2-in-1 data. We've done that. Connect the 2-in-1 data cable to the power adapter. We have done that. Plug the power adapter into the power outlet. We've done that. Please make sure the above steps are completed, then click next. Well, yes, I confirm. We've done everything, right, Paul? I believe we've done everything. Let's click next. Okay, so now it's please connect headset to PC. We've done that already. And it tells you here, oh, okay, it just went to the next window automatically. Now, Paul, should I choose 72, 90, or 120 as a first-time user? Are you still with us, Paul? Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Oh, you can't hear me. We can't hear you. I can hear. I can't hear you. But my mic is on the Google thing. Let me stop presenting. Can you hear me now? Does it work if I stop presenting? Okay, so Paul's just going to sort out his, he's going to look at his mic. We're live, guys, everybody, so, you know, things do occur. And basically, you know, Paul's been using, from the VR realm, has been using the DPVR E4 for quite some time now, more than a good month and a half, 2 months even. So really going to be good to get his insights on all this. Let me go here. Let me just ask him if we should choose 4K 120 Hertz, 4K 90 Hertz, or 4K 72 Hertz as a first-time user. Okay, let me type in the chat for him. I think Google Chat has ended over. Oh, you think it changed the mic? Okay, one moment. Let me check. Yes, it did. Okay, guys. So if you're using any, online platforms or whatever, there we go. Okay. Okay, it's back now, so you should be able to hear me. Thank you very much, Paul, for that. But I still can't hear you, though. Oh, let me test the. Okay, right. Okay, can you talk again?
Yeah, can you hear me okay now?
Okay, now I can hear you. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot for that. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, it's what mine did when I plugged my Vive in before we went live. It just went like my Google thing changed to the Vive one automatically, and I was like, "Why has it done that?"
It's like computers. Come on, we live in 2023, almost 2024. What are you doing? Like, what is going on? So, Paul, let us know. What should I choose here? Wait. Let me do the presenting thing again. Give me a minute. Okay, you should be able to see my thing in just a moment. Okay, there we go. So should we pick 4K 72, 4K 90, or should we do 120 as a first time user?
I did 120, but I find with some games I knock it down to 90 just for performance of the PC rather than the actual headset.
Is it because you find that it took too much computational power of your machine, or because the game wasn't perhaps developed to be compatible at 120 yet?
I think it just takes up quite a bit of push on the computer. Like that's when I play stuff like Alex and stuff. When I want to play like on super high settings, I was knocked it down to 90 basically.
Okay, all right. Okay, so should we leave it to 120 just to do for the live streaming? So what we'll do is we'll leave it to 120 first, just to show everybody if we have any issues with Half-Life Alyx, because everyone wants to see Half-Life Alyx today. And then, like you said, if there's any issues, then at least we can show online that there are issues. Although I'm using a lot more software today because I have the internet on, plus the OBS on, and the mic on, and the camera on. So it might create some loss in frames in that respect. But okay, all right, let's just leave it to 120 then, and then later bring it down. Is it easy to bring down later on?
Yeah, very easy. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so checking headset sensor. All right, so it says it's working normally. So that's cool. That's awesome. And guys, welcome to the stream. Welcome to VR Essentials. Do hit the likes so you can support more manufacturers to provide us with headsets, because it's thanks to DPVR we're able to do all this kind of content. All right, learn about E4 controllers. Now, I haven't actually put batteries in the controllers yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change layout once more. Go to Spotlight. Okay. And then do... No, not this one. This one here. Okay, never mind. This whole layout thing is really... it's like... It doesn't work either. Okay, never mind. I wanted to magnify to show what I was doing, but I think that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the batteries inside of the actual controllers. We have a battery in this one, but we don't have a battery in the other one. So let me just do that quickly. The controllers support up to 1.5 volts, 1500 milliamps batteries, everybody, just so you know. Okay. The batteries are super easy to take out because there's a little gap there for you to take it out, which I think is really awesome, because without the controllers, I actually struggle to take the battery out sometimes.
So one thing I will warn you with the batteries is I thought they were going to have a very short battery life, not like the Quest 1 battery life, because it seemed like after my first few hours of trying it out, I had the battery had gone down to half on the Assistant and Steam, but I've only ever changed them once. That does seem to go down to half really quick, and then the second half took forever. So I don't know whether it was just maybe a firmware problem or what that made them look like they'd run out of battery that quick.
Well, it says on the website that the batteries will last up to 6 hours, which is not that long, to be honest.
Because I've only changed them once, and I've been using it daily for a month or so. Well, a couple of months, sorry.
So you mean maybe the firmware was updated to make them last longer in that case?
I don't know, because when I first read it, I thought, oh god, they're going to be eating through batteries like the Quest 1 did, and then I've changed them the once over time I've had them, and I've been using it quite often.
I can't mention any names due to NDA stuff, but I will tell you something though. There are some VR manufacturers, what they actually do is they use the electromagnetic energy from our bodies to actually power controllers. So that means that they're using the battery for whatever, but in order not to have the battery deplete, they actually use the energy that goes in our arms and stuff, in our body, and it goes back into the controller, into the battery of the controller. I think that's really, I don't know whether that's dangerous or not. I got no idea. But it seems to be a practice that some VR manufacturers are actually using in order to prolong the life of the controller. So if you think that your controller is lasting longer because it's using less energy from the battery, well, you're right. But the energy has to come from somewhere else. And at the moment, this energy actually comes from our own human electricity. So that's that. When I was in the meeting and I saw that, I was like, whoa, that's like, I would never have imagined that is something that, you know, VR manufacturers were actually doing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, so moving forward, both batteries are working, both controls are working. You can see there's a blue LED here. Sometimes it's orange, which I guess means, I don't know. And sometimes it's green, but it's blue at the moment. All right, so you heard it first. VR Realm says that his batteries have been lasting for quite a while. Yeah, your avatar's disappeared and it's back. All right, cool. Awesome.
I managed to catch it from stick and jump. Press the jump button.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go next. Please connect the left controller. Okay, I've done that. It's detecting the right now. And normally it should be on because it's, yep, the LED is on. Okay, cool. It recognized that one as well. And then, okay, moderate indoor light, unobstructed sensor, enough space. Okay. Room setup has started. Please put on your headset and continue to the next setup in virtual reality. Oh, okay. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm wondering whether it's possible to show this step on the screen, but I guess it might not be. I might not be able to do that.
No, I don't think you can.
Okay. All right. So, by the way, for those who didn't watch yesterday's, let me go back to the camera. For those who didn't watch the unboxing yesterday, for me anyway, the best comfort I get out of this headset is if I actually wear a cap, and also the glasses. If I don't wear a cap, I find that my glasses get pulled inwards, which hurts my nose. And also I get a lot more light coming in from the back. But when I wear the cap, it blocks all the light, and there's space because of here, which means it won't push my glasses into my nose. So it's much more comfortable for me. All right, so I need to do this next step with it on. So give me a moment, guys. What about you, Paul? Do you wear a cap when you wear your E4?
No, I don't. I'm not a glasses user either, so I don't know whether that just makes it easier for me.
Okay.
Because it is very tight to your face. I've heard a lot of people mention it on their Discord about glasses being an issue because the lenses are so close.
Yeah, exactly. The lenses are very, very close to the glasses, so that's why when I wear a cap, it really, really changes things so dramatically. It's amazing. The mixed reality, by the way, guys, is in black and white. It's not RGB color. Okay, and I can see a prompt, and basically, let me show you on the. Maybe I can show you actually through. I can do it through the lens and just show people what it looks like. Okay. Let me work out the camera things here. Change layout.
So one thing I found with this part as well is I find their pass-through is very, very, very weak to what's on the market at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I guess, I mean, the good thing about that, though, is that it's only, it's a software issue. It's not a hardware. I mean, it could be a hardware issue. Maybe they need to, maybe they don't have a RGB chip or something in the headset. It could be a hardware thing too. Maybe, I don't know. We can ask them. Okay, so it should be spotlight. Let me stop presenting for a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay, and let me put me. Okay, just trying to change layout again. Tile, spotlight. Okay. It's not letting me have full screen, which is annoying. Okay, there we go. I'm full screen now. All right, so let me guys show you what I see inside of the headset. Let me see if I can do it with my iPhone instead, because it might be better than the Canon. Give me a moment. Let me change. Okay. So this is the pass-through. All right, guys. So this is basically the pass-through, and I just have to read the panel that's on there, and then just follow the steps. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Yeah, Paul, it's really night and day if you have a cap on. Really night and day.
Yeah.
Okay. So try to hold your headset for 3 seconds until the tracking system completes. Please make sure that your sensor protective film, okay. Please make sure that the room brightness is moderate, is done, yeah. Okay. So are you supposed to press something for it to continue, or does it automatically?
I think with that message, it's basically, it's like a tracking error message for some reason.
Right. I think it's because the light, my light is, I
Yeah.
think there's not enough light. All right, let me go and turn on some light. Okay, so I'm still getting the error message, so I need to work on the lighting basically. All right, so I should have enough light, but for some reason I'm still getting the message. Okay. Do you have issues with the green screen, Paul? If you have a green screen next to you, does it create issues?
I've not an issue with mine. Mine's normally behind me a little, but I normally just have I've got like quite a big window leading into my VR room, so most of the time I'm getting natural light from there as well, which is, don't know if that.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the headset and then just plug in the USB back and see if it gets rid of the pop-up. All right, I've plugged it back in. No, the pop-up is still on, unfortunately. Okay. Hold your head for 3 seconds until... Okay, so don't move your head, basically. Okay. What kind of lighting do you use, Paul, in your room for when you use your E4? Okay, I think it's changed the things again. Okay. What kind of lighting do you use, Paul, in your room with your E4?
I just the standard spotlighting. I've got a light that's got 3 spotlights on, which I can aim at how I want them to be. I just normally turn the normal natural lights on.
So guys, I just need to change the lighting setup a bit because it seems that there's a pop-up telling me that lighting conditions are not great. Now, honestly, I never had this issue with the G2 or the Pico or the Quest 1. So first time I'm having this this issue. All right, let's try again. So I'm trying not to move for 3 seconds. So you might think that the screen is stuck, but it's not. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to close the software of the DPVR and then I'm going to start again because I think that perhaps that's why we still have the issue. So let me close it.
I can't hear you at the moment. If I don't know if you mute me.
Oh. So what? Yeah, what I was telling the others is I'm going to close the DPVR software and start from scratch because it's possible that once the thing comes on, it doesn't actually leave, even if you change your lighting setup. So let me just close the DPVR assistant and then start from scratch again. Close. Do you want to exit? Yes. Headset status panel. Next. Next. Please complete the room setup first. Okay. So let me close this thing, close that. And then let me okay, there we go. So you can see my screen. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go back to the DPVR assistant, which is here. Open it again. Do you want to exit? Yes, I do. Okay, let's open it one more time. Okay, so it's initializing. Room setup is not complete. Start. Okay. So it says headset is ready, but there's nothing in the headset. It's black at the moment. Controllers are pairing automatically to the thing. Okay, it's all done. Now it's telling me to go in the headset, but I still have the pop-up. Okay, I'm gonna hold for 3 seconds. It's telling me to hold. Try to hold your head for 3 seconds. Okay, let me check this sensor plastic thing because I'm not sure what they mean by this. So just gonna check if there's a sensor plastic. Oh, okay. All right. Did you have a piece of plastic on your sensor, Paul, when you got your headset? Let me settings again. Paul, you still there? I think. Yeah, he is still there. Okay. Paul, did you have a plastic on your sensor when you got your headset?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a piece of plastic on mine either.
Are you still getting the message at the moment?
Yeah, I still have the pop-up telling me that the current tracking is poor, but the light inside of my room is
Yeah, as I say, the room lighting looks okay to me.
yeah, the room light is perfectly fine. So it's possible that did you have to restart your computer when you install the software? Because sometimes you do need to do that.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah. Because I know Discord Disco VR also, she said she just plugged it in and that was it.
Yeah.
And MRTV as well. So guys, I'm just trying to get the pop-up to move out. So it's asking me to just hold still for a while.
I'd also like maybe try standing up and just looking around the room and see if
Yeah.
that does it.
Maybe. No, at the moment, still have the pop-up thing come up, so it's a bit of a bummer. Boom, 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 boom. Not quite sure what to do, to be honest, other than restart my entire computer.
Yes, I've had it pop up a few times, but it's normally when I'm sat down and I'll stand up and it'll just disappear.
Right. Okay. Well, let's try again, but this time I'll stand up instead of sit down when I do the thing. Let me get rid of this. Exit. Yes. All right. So let's start again. All right. And let me stand up this time. So guys, no, I'm still not able to, unfortunately, get rid of the pop-up, which is annoying because I can't go through the next step basically. So let me try again, taking the USB out and stuff. Okay. Or I'll try to put it in a different USB slot. That could also be the issue. All right, so I plugged it into a different USB slot. Oh, it says abnormal, so now it's not all right. Okay. DP cables. Okay, so it says ready now. Okay.
Scan room environment. Please walk around the room or look around in 360 degrees until the scan is complete.
All right, so good news. All right, so good news. It's gone. And it's possible that you have to open the software first and then turn on your DPVR. So what I did was this time is I turned off the software, unplugged one of the USBs, turned on the software again, and then plugged in the USB inside. So maybe you have to do that. I'm not quite sure, but it seems to have worked this time anyway. So it's asking me to walk around 360 degrees so that it will scan basically the room.
Can you reckon?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh, so yeah. So I was just saying that basically it works now. So what I did is I closed the software and unplugged the USB from the computer. Then I started the software. And then I plugged in the USB. So I didn't plug in the USB first and then open the software. I opened the software first, then plug in the USB. And it seems to work fine. So now what it's asking me is just to walk around the room so it can scan the room basically. So I'm just going to do that. So now it's done the scan. I just had to move around 360 degrees. Now it's asking me whether the ground, the floor level of the virtual space, the boundary is at the right floor level or not. If not, I have to adjust the floor level with the controller. So just like on the Pico, to adjust the floor level, you just bend down, put your control on the floor, and then click the trigger, and boom, it's done.
Ground height has been confirmed.
And then you just press the X key to confirm it, and that's it. And then they ask you to scan your boundary. So it's exactly the same way as you would do with the Quest. Or the Pico, very user friendly. You just use the trigger and move around like so.
Game area is too small to walk. Press and hold the trigger in unit to limit an area on the ground. If the current game area is incorrect, press figure 1 reset. Game area is too small to walk. Press and hold the trigger in unit to limit an area. Game area is too small to walk. Press and hold the trigger.
Okay, so that was basically the boundary that I was just showing you guys through the lens there. So now the boundary is all set up. You just press a button and it will basically lead you to SteamVR. So it is true that the setup is very fast, Paul, right? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Testing, testing. No. Okay. Okay, you should be able to hear me now, Paul. It keeps changing the microphone. So I was just showing the boundary. It is true that if it works first time round, it's very fast to set up. Like it literally is like plug and boom. Can you hear me? No. Oh, for crying out loud, I was on mute.
I was trying to point and I was thinking, why am I like? You're probably just seeing me shake my hand about.
I changed the mic first because that was the wrong one, and then it was on mute. I was just saying that I was showing the through the lens, and then now it really is easy to set up. Like if I wasn't having this issue with the pop-up that came up just now and trying to figure out how to get rid of it, it really is very fast. Like it's literally plug the cameras in, it will track everything for you, just twist around 360 degrees very quickly, do your boundary, and then boom, you just press a button and you go into Steam, right? So it actually is very straightforward.
Yep.
Okay, so the question is, how am I going to be able to show you guys what I see in the headset to you? I guess I'm not going to be able to show until like if I was to close this for now and I go back to the here.
So all these red arrows on the thing means there's firmware updates for each thing.
Is it this one here, VR player? Is that what will show what's inside?
No, that's like a video player basically.
Oh.
So you can play like 3D videos and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think they've got their own version of it.
I can no, it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
showing something. Okay, it's showing something, but basically I'm in pass-through mode at the moment. Okay, it shows exactly what I'm seeing. So now what people are seeing is what I'm seeing. So as you can see, guys, the headset. Oh, I can't move this. Okay, there we go. So it's actually showing the DPVR icon and the DPVR controllers here. So that's cool. Let me get rid of it though, because I don't need it. So yeah, so now I guess if you want to do your streams on Twitch or something and you don't want to show the game, although I mean it really depends, but if you don't want to show the game screen, you want to show what people see inside of your headset, then you just hit the player.
I would
But-
normally use I thought this was like a video player. I would normally use a SteamVR view normally
Yeah.
in the
No, I mean it makes
SteamVR options.
it makes perfect sense what you're saying, and also, of course, why would we want to show double screens? Like it will eat up frame rates, right? So it's better just to show the game screen as opposed to what we see inside. But okay, for the purpose of today's video, though, yeah. So this is basically what you guys are seeing is what I'm seeing. So let's just continue through the process of whatever I'm supposed to do. So I'm just going to put the headset on my face once more. And I haven't done the IPD and all this stuff yet, so I guess this comes a bit later. Is that right?
It doesn't really talk you through that. It's a weird one.
It's definitely not user friendly to put the visor up and down. I definitely advise taking off the headset and then putting it back on, then putting the visor up and down. If you have glasses, it's really not user friendly.
Yeah, I've heard that on the Discord. People saying like it's alright if you've not got glasses. I use it quite a lot because I don't
Yeah.
like their pass-through mode. But I've
Yeah.
heard people on the Discord say it's not very easy
you
when you've
don't-
got glasses.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't have glasses, it's fine. But if you do, my God, it's going to take a lot of getting used to flip it up, flip it down. Okay, so I'm just going to, you guys can see what I see. So, all right, I'll just move. I'll just try to be close to the mic. Controller, keyboard, okay. Trigger, B button. All right, I'll figure out all that later. Start. Please
Yeah,
select.
see, this is a video player. You see.
Ah, okay. So you're right. It just shows
Yeah.
video stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
that's probably just a video program that's loaded up on the screen.
Okay, so I'll just exit. In
But
that
what
case.
you can do is just X out of that.
Yeah, so I'll exit here. Can you still see what I see?
Yeah, if you just bring up the SteamVR window,
Yeah, I did, yeah.
um,
Can you see the home, the SteamVR home? Let me
no,
check.
what you want to do you want to bring the SteamVR program up on the desktop. So you just bring up SteamVR on your desktop.
Okay, so now I'm inside of Steam Home.
Yeah,
So how can
You
I
just
show
go
the
to
SteamVR Home?
just bring up SteamVR on the desktop, like your little SteamVR window.
All right, give me a minute. Here, okay, here it is. And then?
And if you click on the free, like the menu thing, there should
Yeah.
be this SteamVR view or something on there. Wait, I'll see what it's called.
it
I can't
media
remember exactly
player?
what it's called. Let me just
No,
open
it's
Steam
not
on
media
mine. So
player.
there should be on there. They should have display VR view on that drop down on Steam.
Oh, there. Here. Okay.
You click there, that'll just load up what you're seeing inside the headset
Okay. Cool.
in a
Can you
window
see it
there.
now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. So thank you very much for that. Very helpful. So guys, now you can see also what I'm seeing. So we're going inside of SteamVR Home. So it's just loading. I have to say the graphics are really good. I don't see any screen door effect.
Before you jump into any games as well, I would advise doing the firmware updates on the headset and the controllers.
Yes, I was definitely going to. You're absolutely right. I was about to say that I have to do a firmware update. So let's do that now. And also, it's not showing. Yeah, because it's not showing the thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. Let me do that right away. In fact. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Click update. Start update. You can't update now. Why? Oh,
You have to
okay.
just close Steam, I think. SteamVR
Okay.
down.
All right, that's all. Okay, that's off. Yes. Update. Start update. Okay, cool. It's updating. Nice. So guys, welcome to VR Essentials. We're doing the live setup and power turn on of the DPVR E4. I will be doing some Half-Life Alyx very, very soon, so do hang around. Oops, something is happening. Still hear me? Yes, they can still hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so guys, do hang tight as we're going to be doing some testing with Half-Life Alyx very soon, and we're also going to be talking more to Paul from VR Realm. Paul, where can we find you on your Twitch again? Twitch.com/TheVRRealm.
Yeah.
Is it the or just VR Realm?
The VR Realm.
The VR Realm. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, and all right, there's Paul here on the right hand side. Okay, so it's updating pretty fast, to be honest. It's not taking, that much of time. The Pico sometimes can take a little time to update, I have to admit. The G2, I haven't had to actually, Microsoft Windows Mixed Reality just don't have any updates. Like, they never do anymore. So, whatever we have now is whatever it is. Paul, what other VR headsets do you use? Wait, I can't hear him again.
And things like that.
Sorry, can you repeat? Can you repeat that? Sorry,
I think
didn't
you're
hear
on
you.
mute again. I've got a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
mute icon next to your camera.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah.
What other headsets do you use other than the E4?
Well, now I'm using the Vive Pro I because I use that when I use my avatar because it's got the eye
Really?
tracking and everything. Yeah.
Cool. Is that
This
the
was
Vive
my
Pro? What do you mean
this
by the
was-
Vive Pro I? The Vive Pro 2?
no, the Vive Pro I was like the next one up from the Vive Pro, which has got eye tracking in it.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
So it's basically just the same specs as the Vive Pro, the first Vive Pro, but it's
Okay.
got eye tracking in it. That's it.
Ah, nice. Wow,
It was
that
a
must be
business
really
model.
cool.
They made it for businesses because nothing ever used the eye tracking.
Okay.
But as you know, with Neos, they just try and get everything working in there.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. No, I love that. And it seems that it doesn't seem like the Quest 3 is going to have full body tracking. It doesn't look like, if it
No.
does, it doesn't look like they promoted it on their videos anyway, because they were supposed to come up with that technology, but it doesn't look like it's going to come on the consumer headset
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're all set up. So I'm just going to click done. There we go. Refresh. Settings. Okay,
Yep.
settings.
Didn't say settings.
Okay, so this is where we do the IPD and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would advise setting the brightness for around 60. Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine's on about 62 to be fair.
It's very similar to what Tatiana from Disco VR said. She said
Yeah.
she sets it up to about 60 or 70. She said
Yeah.
at the beginning she couldn't see anything in the headset and she didn't understand why.
Yeah, I had the same thing, and it was set at like 20%. I was like, why is it set at 20%? Like
Right.
brightness.
Yeah, exactly. So guys, if you do get the DPVR at the beginning and you feel that you can't see something, just go to your screen brightness in the settings and then just bump up the settings a little bit. But maybe put them halfway first, see how it goes, and then incrementally bump them up instead of putting it at 100% because you might get blind. In fact, the latest Apple that's coming out is supposed to be super bright, but I don't know why headsets need to be super bright, to be honest, because
No.
it just gives a headache.
I will warn you as well, if you crank it up to like full brightness, it
Yeah.
makes like the
Heat.
headset work over time and the heat's crazy,
Yeah.
and then you hear the fan kick in and it's quite noisy anyway. But I found it's
Exactly.
best around 62 anyway. So
Exactly. And the fan is already working now. I mean, I can hear
Yeah.
it working already. Okay, controllers. Is there anything I should put in here, like see-through?
I've got that turned off. It's basically you can set it so it's a button press to go into like your pass-through mode, basically.
Okay.
So these controller options here, modes, joystick will make them basically Oculus Rift CV1 controllers,
Oh, okay.
and touchpad
interesting.
makes them act like a Vive Wand, basically.
Vive 1, right.
Yeah,
So you
and
just leave them
standard
on
just is theirs.
standard. Okay.
Yeah, I leave it on standard. You do find if a game doesn't work with standard, just like come out of it and switch it down to joysticks, and then Steam thinks it's a Oculus Touch controller, and it'll
Right.
just basically try and work with their bindings.
Right.
But
And
I've not
actually-
found many games I need to do that for. But I
Mhm.
can't remember which one. There was one, and I was like, I think it was when I was it might be obvious, but I think it was when I was using Revive to play
Right.
an Oculus game. It wouldn't pick up the controllers, so I
Yeah.
switched it to that, and it made them think of CV1 controls, and it worked absolutely fine for Revive using
Right.
that setting.
By the way, I just saw a car go by in your VR world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got flying cars going behind through the city.
that's mad. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that because that looked pretty awesome. I also find it very interesting that they have a reset center view option. Why not just make it like? Why have this in the software? Is it because you can
Yeah.
customize one of the buttons?
I don't know, because when I'm using SteamVR, I normally just use the SteamVR's recenter if I'm going to recenter my play space.
Right.
So I've not actually even tried to use that either.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to turn on that we can do a troubleshooting, see whether it
Yeah.
works or not. Light. What
Light is
this?
basically just that thing that goes across the front of the headset. That little light, you can change its
Ah.
color and how fast
Right.
it is and how it.
Of course. Wait, is it on? No, it's not. Wait, it's not on yet.
Oh, why is that not on yet? It should be on.
Okay. So
weird.
so it's not on yet. Let's go to the settings and see what we can do here. Okay, let me switch it off. So we basically set it. It's possible, they may have sent me, a headset that was in the corner somewhere. Who knows? I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm still very thankful they sent me one, but everything normally should be working fine. Okay, multicolor breathing. Let me just put on normal first. Let's see if it works.
I say, come on.
Yes, I can see it. It's just that it's very, very dim.
Yeah, it's not very bright. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bright at all. And then when I change the colors, let me put it to the camera and see if you can. Yeah, you can't really see it here because it's really dim.
Yeah.
Like it is actually dim. You can't see it. I don't know how Disco VR got her. Oh, you can kind of see it, but it's it's very, very dim. Very, very dim. Yeah, you can kind of see it, but yeah, as I mentioned, it's very dim. So I can definitely see the colors changing on it. I mean, personally, what do you think? Do you think it's a good thing that they put this thing in, or do you think?
I think it's just. I don't know why it's there, to be fair.
I mean, does it, like heating of a headset? I'm not sure whether the manufacturers understand that the brain is a really valuable tool of our body, like the most valuable, right? So we can't have the brain heating up. So I'm just wondering, if this actually causes the headset to heat, like if they didn't have
Heat
this
at
thing
all,
on,
yeah.
whether it would heat less, basically.
Mm.
I don't know. I got no idea. I would have
No,
to
I just don't really.
ask them.
I think they just put it on there for looks, but I don't think it doesn't help
I
with
mean-
anything. It's just
I mean, if Razer were to come up with a headset, right, they would definitely have all this stuff, right?
yeah, the whole thing. I'd probably do it.
Exactly. It would just be one huge LED crown on your face, with lights everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
So that's how you do IPD, just because it's the IPD on this is all software based. It's not
Right.
it's not done by a dial or anything. The lenses don't
Mhm.
actually move. It's just all software based.
Right. And
Um,
but for the appearance, what does black or white mean? Is it inside the headset?
It's just basically the appearance of the assistant. So if you change it to dark, it'll be like a dark mode on the assistant, basically.
Oh, got it. Understand.
Yeah.
Which actually might be. Do you have it on dark mode or white mode at the moment?
I use dark mode.
Yeah.
I put
Yeah.
everything in dark mode if I can.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
So there's the auto launch option there. So if you don't want the assistant to pop up every time you turn your PC on, you can
Mhm.
turn that off.
Oh. When the system starts. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely turn that off.
Yeah, I've got mine turned off.
Audio setting, automatic set the headset sound output when connected. I guess, well,
Just
it doesn't
basically
really
means
matter, I
that
guess.
that's if you just when you plug it in, is your PC going to automatically choose that as your speakers?
Yeah, I think I'll put on. I'll put yes, and then you can always change the driver automatically after, right? So
Yeah.
debug mode, I would say no unless you're a developer.
No. Yeah.
Okay, and for the languages, there are plenty of different languages, although not that many. Seems like you have Japanese, Mandarin, Korean, Dutch, and that must be Russian or Polish or something. Okay, display, IPD.
So
where
this
is
is where
here? Okay.
there, if you click that, it will launch the program, and then you just sort of
try
move
it.
the thing in the headset.
All right, let me try this thing. Because actually, I have to admit that the IPD so far for me, I don't know what the the current IPD is set to. The standard IPD is set to, because it's perfect for me at the moment. I don't
It's set
need
to 64, I think.
That's why, because I'm 64.
Yeah, I was like 63.8, so I didn't really see much difference for me.
Right.
I mentioned that when I reviewed it. I said I can't tell you whether the software works because
Right.
I'm so close to the standard for it, so it makes no.
And have you noticed in other headsets or in this one, like for example, if I go into population 1, my IPD will be set around 62 actually. But then if I go into Half-Life Alyx, it will be set more to 64. If I go into Sim, it's sometimes 65. I find that could be because of the textures that they use in the game. I don't know. It's just funny because sometimes when I set my IPD, something that will be close to me will be sharp, but everything further away will be blurry. And then if I change the IPD, suddenly what's in front of me becomes a bit blurry and everything far becomes more clear. Do you find that you've had this in different games?
Not that I've realised. I don't normally change. I just normally
Okay.
leave them on the 63.8. That's what everyone's set to.
Okay. Or maybe it's just the G2 dial that moves.
I've done it
'Cause
with my
it's-
index a few times, because I have the index as well. Like sometimes when I try and move the headset, I'll catch the IPD thing and I'll just see it like go. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Right. All right. Well, let's just try. Let me just see what it looks like when I click on start. I'll just put the headset on again. Okay. It's dark in here. When it goes dark, does it come back fast normally?
Oh, it's just because SteamVR's not open at the moment, is it? We had to shut it to do the firmware update.
Okay. SteamVR
So when
switched
you-
off. All right. Let me click
Yeah,
on
so-
start here. Oh, it's because we switched everything off, right? Yes.
Yeah, we had to switch it off for the firmware, didn't we?
Okay, that's why.
So it
All
should
right,
come
so
up
you guys
now.
can see what I see again, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So wow, the diamond looks so weird. Okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Please look at the green hexagon. Please look at the green hexagon in front of you. Push the joystick of the controller left or right to adjust until the most comfortable and three-dimensional viewing effect is obtained. Now, by the way, DPVR, if you are watching today's video, there is definitely some color bleeding. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. I'm looking at the black box, actually, and also the exit icon. And around the green diamond also, I can see some color bleeding of some yellow reddish colors, just FYI. So there's definitely some color bleeding here. Okay. It's so strange. It's really strange when you look at the diamond, right? Like it. Can you hear me? No, I don't think you
Yeah.
can hear me. Yeah, you can hear
I
me.
can, yeah.
It looks like a hologram. Like it looks
Yeah.
really, really weird, right?
So I have, I know someone on the DPVR Discord has said they're like a 55 IPD and they think it worked, because obviously I was saying I don't know if it works or not because I'm too close to the average for it to actually make that much of a difference.
Right. I can tell you now that when I'm on ATMM, now the one thing I need to, because I think I said a boo-boo yesterday in yesterday's video, I said that when you adjust the IPD, it will get black edges if you put the IPD all in, basically. Now, it does occur with the Pico, and it occurs with the Quest 2 also, and the Pico Neo 3 as well. But it doesn't happen on the HP Reverb G2. and also on the E4 it doesn't occur also. So in fact I can't even see the lenses moving.
No, the
I-
lenses don't actually move on the E4.
Right, so the components that are moving are inside the headset because nothing feels like it's moving. Like it's
Yeah,
incredible.
it's all just
Software.
software based.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are no mechanical parts moving.
No.
It's all software based. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's very strange because this diamond is so 3D. So my IPD on this headset, this is so funny, is actually 61 for the diamond.
Mm.
I love that the IPD is like so precise. Like it's every 2 mm. That is great. So yeah, so on this headset for me, it's not 64 compared to the G2, which is 64. So it's possible that it could also be due to lens technology, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
imagine. But the weird thing is that, you see, when I adjust the IPD, the green diamond is 61. But if I read the text now on the box, now it's blurry. If I put it back to 65, 64, now the text is better for me. So that's what's really strange about my eyesight. Like, that's what's really weird for me. So I'll just put it back to 64. The diamond is kind of okay, but not perfect. And I can read the text better also underneath. So I'll just go with that for now.
So offers this, like, the IPD on this
Yeah.
is 54 to 74 something, isn't it?
I know it's from 50 to 80 now because they did
Is
the
it?
update.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Actually, what did you notice that was super different between the update between before and the update that occurred?
A lot of the update I'm finding does a lot with the controllers more than anything. Because when it first came out, I think there's been three updates since I got mine. They sort of do bi-weekly or bi-monthly updates, which is
Right.
taking the feedback in and trying to. And the first, when you get them, the haptics always used to cut out, or they seem to be delaying them, but now they seem to be fixed. The latest one is more just the algorithm for the tracking. So when the camera can't see them, the algorithm like takes over. I did find a massive improvement in that. Like before, if you put your hands down by your side and or just the controls out the way they're tracking by your side, out where the cameras for like a couple of seconds, it would lose tracking, and then it sort of, when it lost tracking, it seemed to center to the middle of the headset, so you just see the hand go across the middle of the headset. But
Right.
it seems with this update, once it goes past the cameras, the algorithm picks up where your hands were in the last position, so they don't like pop up into your face or anything. And they seem to pick up really fast. I tested like even just holding my hands behind my back for a couple of minutes, and they didn't pop in back into the front of the controller or go weird. And when I brought them around from behind my back, never mind where I brought them around, they did seem to pick up very quickly as well. So they seem to have done a lot of work on the tracking over the
Okay,
updates.
cool. So the tracking is really what you saw to be the most improved part
Yeah,
of the headset.
yeah.
What other improvements, since you've been using it for quite a while, what other improvements do you wish they make soon to the headset? Do you think that's
Well,
lacking at the moment?
We've chucked stuff out there on the Discord. Like they are very open to. If you go on the Discord, they're very open to suggestions from people, and they look at what they can do. So a big thing we mentioned was the facial interface being this rubber thing.
Right.
And they announced the other day that they've now got a replacement one that you can order.
Yeah.
Order soon, where it's like a standard faceplate you get on a VR headset. I mean, I didn't mind the rubber because I'm used to PlayStation VR 1. I've used a PlayStation VR 2, and they'd use the same thing, just a rubber.
Oh,
more
really?
solid
The
face thing, yeah.
PSVR 2 has a rubber as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I know there was a lot of issues, and a lot of people mentioned it, and it was just like, right, okay. We mentioned giving better grips on, like doing the index grips for the controllers that like Kiwi Design do for the Quest. And they're looking into how they can make their own versions of them. So they are very open to suggestions and trying to get what people want out there.
I mean, to me, what struck me a little bit unfortunate for the controllers is that, I mean, I like the design, but they didn't leave enough. They didn't leave any space at the top of the controller, so this part here,
Yeah.
so that you can do like this. So with the Mambu grips, right, with the G2 controllers, because the G2 controllers are horrible. I mean, they're the worst controllers in VR. But they at least left some space here,
Yeah.
so you can actually put the Mambu thing. So
Yeah.
now, when you put the Mambu grips on for these specific controllers, honestly, with the Pico, I'm very happy with the controllers. Like, I don't need Mambu grips with the Pico, and the Quest 1, I didn't need Mambu grips with the Quest 1 either, and the Pico Neo 3, I didn't need Mambu grips either. But for the G2, I really, really need the Mambu grips, and for these controllers, I can't put the Mambu grips on them.
Yeah.
And I definitely would need them, because the only issue I have with these controllers, everyone have different hands, right? So maybe you haven't noticed this, but because it's flat on one side and it's round on the other, it feels unbalanced in the hand. So throwing a grenade and all these kind of things will definitely play a little bit. It will play mind tricks. Did you find that as well, or for you, no, it's no issue?
Yeah, that's why I put the suggestion forward to them about trying to
Right.
do like the sort of mammoth grips, and like I said, they're going to look into creating the own. So I suggested that they need to approach it like Kiwi did with the Quest ones, where you take off the current battery clip.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
then
remember that.
it clips in there. So
Yeah, it clips
it's
in
like
there. Yeah.
so it's very easy to. And they've already shot out examples showing that they're working on prototypes and stuff. So hopefully, like I said, they seem very open to making sure that if people ask for stuff, they're going to try their best to do it. I mean, obviously, not going to be able to do everything, but they're going to try their best, which is a good sign, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, DPVR are definitely, serious contenders in the world of VR, and they've been in it for a while. It's just that the strategy they've taken in the past, they were focusing more on arcade VR and VR cinema, so it wasn't really consumer.
Yeah.
But I have to say that in terms of the consumer direction, I think they were probably very surprised as to how the West perceives VR compared to China, because when I was in China, people didn't really seem to care about quality or something, or maybe they just didn't voice it. They just put the headset on and move on with it, even if it wasn't comfortable. Like, they wouldn't complain about it. But the West were very, very quick at complaining, very quick at saying, no, it's not for me, right? So I think perhaps they thought that it was going to be the same thing. Just throw something out, everyone will love it, and that's it, right? But I think they very quickly understood that that's not the case for the West. You really have to pay attention to quality, comfort, graphics, all these kind of different things. So I think shying away from Nolo is the best thing they could do. I'm not a big fan of Nolo, but I love the Nolo's vision and what they're trying to do. It's a shame that the technology is too behind to stream 6 DOF into 3 DOF. Into a 3 DOF headset. It just was very jerky. It wasn't smooth, so it really didn't give you the immersion required to have a good experience in virtual reality. Let's say. So I'm personally very happy that they went the PCVR route. Just focus on making that really well first, and then later maybe expand and make a wireless headset. Because the biggest headache that Pico are having right now is growing the library. They have a decent enough headset, but they don't have decent enough games yet. It's getting there, but it's no way near, Quest. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. They come out with their own multiplayer world thing, right? And when you go inside, like the Oculus Rift multiplayer home, the home. I don't know if you ever went into the home with the Rift or on the Quest using PC. Where it was the Rift home, you could have people come inside, all that kind of stuff, right? It was really nice. Like, the graphics were amazing, but it was very fluid. Like, everything worked. But with the Pico, some buttons are not working. It's really hard to change menus and find things. It's just not there. Like, the build software quality is just not there. It's very Chinese quality, and I think that, again, they don't understand that in the West, these are the kind of things that we really feel are important as part of the VR experience, I guess. What do you think? Like, do you think these kind of things, like the software aspect, is important for a VR manufacturer, or you think it doesn't really matter as long as the games work?
No, I think they need to. It's the first. I mean, I think it's the first thing most VR creators do once they get a headset in their hands. So, like, does it move too much? Can you like bend it? Can you whatever? Everyone just wants to make sure the quality's there. Like, I got the Pimax 5K XR.
Right.
Not long after that came out, and the build quality on that is terrible. Like, I actually went on because I was worried about the build quality, and even on the Pimax like official support forums, people were saying if you get like electrician's tape and
Really?
cut it and seal all the joints around the headset
Wow.
is the easy way to avoid the plastic just randomly cracking one day. I
Right.
was just like, whoa. So, because I went on
Yeah.
to see if everyone else had this problem with the build quality, and yeah, it was like suggestions straight away, like
Right.
reinforce any joints with electrician's tape. I was like, wait, whoa.
That's just crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But you've been using the PSVR 2, you have the HTC Vive Pro I, and
Yeah.
various other headsets as well. Where do you see the E4 fitting in within your realm of gaming?
Well, since I've tried it and since I made the first like tracking updates and stuff for the firmware and sorted the haptics out, it's been the one I use daily.
Oh, really? Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, why is that?
I just find the ease of plugging it in, and I mean the Vive's easy to plug in. It's just I've already just got the breakout box set up for that, but
Right,
I just find I like the visuals on it. I like how lightweight it is.
right,
When you've used a Vive for so long, they are heavy headsets. They're well balanced, but once I'd been testing that for 2 weeks, and then I put the Vive on for the first time, I was like,
right,
God, this feels so heavy. I'm bulky and heavy.
right. Yeah, of course.
Um,
And the Vive Pro 2 looks it looks pretty
Yeah.
pretty big as well, right?
yeah,
Right.
but yeah, I just find it's quick to plug in. Visuals are fantastic. I think that they're really good, like crisp.
Right.
Probably,
Right.
I actually think the resolution's a bit bigger than on the Vive Pro. I think so. Probably why it seems a bit more.
Well, the graphics are supposed to be uncompressed, right, with the cable. So
Yeah,
it's supposed to be raw, uncompressed 4K
Yeah.
visuals, right? Basically.
yeah. This is one thing I said when I found I've seen about the E4 and I've
Yeah.
looked into it. I thought it's a bold move for someone to make a PCVR headset at the moment, because
Right.
everyone knows wired and wireless is a massive debate. To me,
Right. Right.
I've always want wired, like because of that. For that reason,
Right.
you got a display port. It's uncompressed,
Right.
completely solid, just straight to the displays.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think also once we're in VR for a while, we actually forget about the wire. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I mean we know it's there, but when you're, when I first started, I don't know about you, but when I first started VR, it was Oculus Go and Oculus Quest 1. That's how I started. I didn't have a PC. So I was very used to, standing up and doing all these kind of experiences, right? But then as I got older, I got lazier and, get tired more easily, faster. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do my experiences sitting down now. So I actually do most of my VR sitting down, to be honest with you. So which helps because you don't really notice the cable. And it is true that once you experience PCVR, you really don't want to go back. And actually, the reason why I don't use the Pico as my go-to VR headset, it's not because the graphics aren't as good as the G2, for example. They're actually, to a certain degree, pretty much the same, if not sometimes better, to be honest, because you're using pancake lenses. So you don't have the issue of blurriness on the side and all that kind of stuff. But, it's just every time I plug it in, every time I put it to the PC, it's got an issue, it's got a bug, something's not working, I got to restart everything. I mean, it's just never simple. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's always something. But with the G2, it's literally turn on the computer, turn on the G2, it goes automatically into SteamVR, I choose my game, boom, I'm there, I'm done, I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like there's no issues whatsoever. Isn't that what makes you want to play VR, is the fact that you don't have these extra steps, right?
Yeah, because even when I got my Quest 2, I ordered a display cable. I ordered the link cable because I was like, I just want it through wired. I'm not
Right.
messing with virtual desktop. I'm not messing with any of this. I'll
Right.
just plug it in with a wire. But even that, I can plug it in sometimes, and it comes up,
Right.
loads the Oculus Home, and then goes, "Oh, we lost connection." And you're like,
Right.
right, okay. And then you have to restart your PC because it won't pick it back up because it's lost its connection at one time. I'm just like,
Right.
I can't be putting up with that.
And this is the official Quest
Yeah, link cable.
link
Yeah.
cable. It's not
Yeah.
even like a third party. By the way,
No.
I tried my extension third party cable, which is the Creative whatever, I can't remember what it's called. It was supposed to be at the time the best extension because when the original Oculus Link cable came out, it was really short. So everyone had to buy an extension for it. And it turns out that now it actually no longer works for my extension of PCVR even. So these third-party cables, which are supposed to be really good, they don't last forever.
No.
But my G2, luckily, cable, I don't know when you bought your Quest 2 cable, my G2 cable has lasted 2 years, touch wood. I've walked on it, I've wheeled my chair on it, like it's literally gone through the dirt. And it still works fine. What about you? Have you put your cable to the test as well?
Yeah, I've ran over them a few times in my chair. Even the DPVR, one of my worries was, I know you tighten that breakout box into on the back, but I thought, is this gonna like just break easily? And
right.
I've crouched down in games and stood back up and been stood on the cable and like pulled my head right back, but never seen any issues with it.
Right.
I normally use my pulley system I've got across the ceiling to keep the wire off the floor, but
you have a pulley system, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're really hardcore, man. I don't have that yet. Does that involve drilling holes in your walls?
No.
You have the 3M glue things.
I have moved them.
Okay.
I've placed one incorrectly when I put it in, so there's no holes. It sticks to the ceiling.
Right.
It's like a sticky pad, but when I first set them up, I put it on wrong. And you always, luckily I got a spare sticky pad because when I pulled it off, it just pulled all the paint off the ceiling.
Of course,
yeah. Big square. I was like, no.
That's terrible.
Yeah. It says easy peel and easy to remove once not using them. And I was like, it's not really. You've been on for a second and you've already just ripped all the paint off the ceiling. Thank you.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's really terrible.
And now I'm moving my room around as well. I'm wanting my PC on the other side, so I'm going to probably have 4 massive squares in the ceiling where I've pulled the pulley system down. But I'll just have to paint over it.
Yeah, you just have to paint over it, exactly.
Yeah.
Paint it green so that it doesn't look like there's anything there if you're filming or something. Guys, if you're just joining the stream, welcome to VR Essentials. We're here with VR Realm, who's been using the DPVR E4 for quite some time, good couple months. So he's able to give us some tips and tricks. Do go and play back also some of the other parts of today's live stream if you want to hear more about what he had to say. We've been doing the setup. So we set up the DPVR E4 now. It's all ready to work. And we can actually start going inside of SteamVR and actually play games. It seems that at the moment, though, it's not showing the thumbnails of my SteamVR games in the SteamVR home. I think what I might need to do in order for it to show the thumbnails is to restart my entire machine, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Did you have this issue when you went into SteamVR home for the first time?
I've had it once with
You had it once,
but
okay.
it was like later down the line. The first time they showed, but then one time they just wouldn't load. And then I'd basically just closed out with SteamVR, or reopened it, and it was back on. But
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes it can occur because if your SteamVR is not installed in the same drive as the software of the computer, sometimes it finds it hard to go and read the stuff that it needs to read in order to show everything accordingly, apparently, is what I've been told. So, cool. And what other tips could you give us, whilst we're playing to make the experience a bit more fun and, avoid any specific, I don't know, whatever things that occur, like the lighting? Maybe should it not be directed directly again to the headset? Maybe have the lights bounce against the wall. I don't know, anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say with my spotlights in the room, I use the movable.
Spotlights,
so
okay.
I've got them pointing at the walls rather than pointing down at me. I've got them like lighting up the walls. If you're having problems, maybe try and put something the cameras can pick up on your wall. So like I've got some pictures on my wall. Sometimes just for plain walls can just cause a problem because the cameras have got nothing to read off the walls,
Right.
so they get a bit confused. But I think that's with every inside-out tracking headset.
Yes. Yes.
It's a possible cause of an issue with tracking.
Yes.
One thing I will say is on the back of that breakout box, the one that's
Yeah.
attached to the headset,
Yeah.
the 3.5mm jack box there,
Yeah.
use headphones.
Oh, you mean the headphone jacks on the box?
Yeah, on that box that goes behind your back, yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah. So I'd recommend using
Right.
headphones because the inbuilt audio is not the best. It's
Okay, let me see if I
usable,
can-
but it's not the best.
Let me see if I can make me. Okay, there we go. So guys, the headphone jack is here. I didn't know. Wow, yeah, I didn't realize it was there. That's a
Yeah.
very, very weird place to put it, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
There's also the clip on the cable.
Yeah, you
I do
could. That was what I was
recommend-
gonna say. You could clip the, because you can
I
move the
do
clip
norm-
up, right?
I do normally use that and clip it to my clothes when I'm playing, so
Right,
it stops the
right,
wire
right.
moving as much, and that
Right.
helps with the fact the headphone jack's on the back because that wire's not moving as much, so the headphone wire doesn't
Right.
use as much.
But other speaker, I mean, the DPVR people told me the speakers aren't great, but since
Yeah.
the update, are they better? Or I mean, what does it sound like? Dolby stereo? Because the thing is, iPhone speakers aren't great, but they're actually pretty good. I mean, the
Yeah.
built-in is very small, but the sound comes out really nicely.
I just find they've got a tinny feel to them, and that's why I don't use them.
Oh, okay. So you can't really hear the bass. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I would rather just, like I said, I've always used mine with headphones. After testing, I was like, I'm putting headphones in. I can't put up with this.
Right. But where do you plug in your headphones? You mean you use Bluetooth headphones?
No, I plug them into the box on the back. Like
Oh,
the
so you put it in the
3.5mm
box?
jack. Yeah.
Okay. So you put it in the box here, yeah.
Yeah, but I do have a short headphone cable, so there's not like a lot of loose headphone cable behind it.
Right. Okay.
I
Got it.
do have
Got it.
I do have quite a short one, so I just plug them in to use that cable. I think
Yeah,
it
because-
came with some headsets with some headphones at one point. It was like a really short one. I was like, that'll be perfect for this.
Oops. Sorry about that. Sorry, neighbors. Something fell. Made a lot of noise. Yeah, because if I was to use these headphones, honestly, the cable is so long, I could probably throw the cable
Ye-
to you.
Yeah.
Here's the cable, Paul.
It's like the ones I use on my Vive because
It's that long.
that doesn't have the Vive doesn't have a headphone jack. Or it does. It's hidden behind the faceplate. I've got like a crazy stupid long cable that goes from my PC to my headphones, and it's a pain
But
in the butt. at
I
times,
imagine
but-
if you're using headsets, because they're also called headsets, right? So you have
Mhm.
these are earphones. I mean, this is what
Yeah.
we used to call earphones. Was this right? Now they're
Yeah.
called earbuds.
Yeah.
I don't know how it changed name, because if you were to use ear headsets, I'm afraid that this part here would actually block. Like if you were to put headsets on top, would this block at the ear level?
I
Does
don't
this get in
find
the way?
it's fine because that's how I use them. I use like
Okay.
big over the ear ones
So you
when
don't
I'm
use
playing.
these. You don't use these types. You
No, I
the
use
ones that
like proper headphones. Yeah.
use this stuff.
Yeah, like that type of stuff. Yeah.
Okay,
and I've
right,
never
right.
don't have any issues with it.
Okay, because that was my main concern is having something that you have to sometimes, like when I put these headphones on, these ones, and I want to remove my headset, I find that like it's like my headset stuck to my head, like I can't get it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And you're like, get it off, get it off.
Yeah.
They just won't move because everything is stuck to your head.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. So, all right. And what about the microphone? They said that they made some adjustments. What's wrong with the what was wrong with the microphone in the first part?
I don't know if I always thought the microphone was usable.
Okay.
I always think it's not obviously. I mean, it's like level of a Quest one really. And
Okay. Well, that was fine.
it's usable
Quest
in
one was
games.
fine.
I've been into like Neos, using it and spoke to people, and they've said, yeah, it's not like outstanding quality, but
Right.
they're like
It's not studio
you're very
quality. Yeah.
like you're very understand like it's very easy to understand.
Right.
Like right, okay, so that's
You can still have a
that's
conversation with them and they wouldn't know what
Yeah.
microphone you're using.
yeah.
Right. And the one thing about the G2 microphone, which I really dislike, is that it picks up literally everything around you. So when you're literally playing games and you press a button, don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear?
Very, very slightly.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear now.
Yeah. Can there now, yeah.
It sounds like that. Like it picks up all the clicks, everything you do on the controller. So when you're doing a live stream, you're playing and then you just hear this click, 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 click in the background. It's really, really irritating. Does the microphone and also the Pico used to do. The Pico is worse. The Pico used to be able to pick up all the cars that were literally like 100 meters away on the highway. That's how crazy it was with the Pico, until they managed to finally adjust that. What about with the DPVR? Does it pick up also the noises of the controllers and stuff, or not?
I've done a lot of live streams of it since getting it, and I've never heard it. But I do have the I can't remember what it's called. In OBS in the filters, I have turned off like the background. I've got like a background noise filter on, so I don't know whether it's just picked it up as a background noise or it'll like filter it out.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never heard it on any of the streams I've done. I had anyone say they can hear the controllers.
Right. So you haven't noticed it, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I've streamed Ruins Megas, all of Firmament.
Okay.
All of Lone Echo 2 using Revive. I've done that with over multiple streams with it, and I've never heard it in the background when I've done it myself.
Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, now I think
there's one more warning I'll give as well is the controller doesn't have capacitive touch on the buttons.
Right.
So in order to bend your thumb in, in order for it to like pick up your thumb, you do have to press a button in for it to pick up your thumb.
Okay.
So if you're looking, if you get one and you look at it and you're thinking, oh, the control's not recognizing my hand, like my thumb, it's because the buttons don't have capacitive touch sensors in them. So
right, because it was the same with the Pico controller at the beginning, but now they actually have some kind of pressure sensor. So even if you just touch the controllers, you'll see that something happens in game. The hand will suddenly, close up, and then if you let go, it will open up. Yeah. You don't need to necessarily press on something for something to happen. Yeah. But with the G2, it's the same as what you just described. Like nothing will happen whether you don't have your controller in the hand or not, or you close or open your hand. Nothing will happen. Like you have to press something for something to happen, right? I guess is what you're saying. Yeah. But on the PSVR 2 controllers, do you really feel the difference in terms of interacting with your VR world with those controllers?
Yeah, massively. It's one of my favorite things about them. The level I've got the haptics to, the adaptive triggers. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's one thing that blows my mind. Like, I thought it'd be something that's like index controllers with the finger tracking. Now, I don't really care about it. I'll load up a game if I'm using the index controllers and see if it's got finger tracking, and I don't think about it anymore. Right. But with that, I thought, is it going to be the same with the adaptive triggers? Like, at first, you're going to notice it a lot, and then you're just going to be like, well, it's just a thing. But even now, when you go on things like Pavlov, and each gun's got a different pressure you need to put on the trigger. Right. And the trigger, like, fights that pressure and stuff. It's really... Yeah, I'm hoping more companies are going to start using that, but I don't know if that's technology Sony have set up or what. Right. That's really interesting. I mean, it's something that I would love to... I really should just go to the Sony shop and then just try it there, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know why I haven't done that. So, yeah, because I think it'd be very interesting to try it. What are some of your favorite games that you've been streaming and playing with the DPVR E4? So you think it's very well suited for it? That you think is quite well suited for? Yeah, Ruins Magus, like a Japanese RPG, all cartoony looking. that looks fantastic in there. Lone Echo 2 looked fantastic in there, but it was never optimized that even on Oculus software, on Oculus hardware. So they seemed to just release it, and then there was a last PCVR game they were going to do, wasn't it? Like sole PCVR game. Seems like they just put it out and then just left it as what it is. It's never had an update. It's never. But it's not very well optimized. So even with that, knocking it down to like low, medium settings, it still looks absolutely fantastic in there.
That's very interesting that you have your Oculus software installed in your computer, even though you're not. Are you using the Quest still?
No, I use a lot of my Oculus games I play through Revive, which is like
you play with Revive, okay?
Yeah, a program you get off GitHub where it'll launch your Oculus games in Steam. So
do you? No, because I don't have the Oculus software. I just got rid of it simply because I need the space in my computer, I guess. But do you still use your Quest 2?
Every now and then.
Okay.
Not very often.
Okay.
I've only really used it if I'm going to do standalone or the game isn't supported by Revive, because not every game will work with Revive. So if it's got it on. I mean, the reason I've got the Oculus PC store is for the exclusives. Like,
yeah, the exclusive, of course.
I still really like Robo Recall. Like, I'm still going into that every now and then, and
do you know what?
Playing the Lone Echoes and things like that.
When I went into my whole anti-meta mode phase, which lasted a good year or two, I actually deleted my at the time it was Facebook account and Oculus account. So it basically meant that I lost all my games. And actually, to be honest with you, I kind of regret doing that because, same thing. I had Robo Recall and all these other games that I had purchased via the Rift store at the time. Yeah. And it would just be so great to, like, I didn't think at the time, I didn't know about Revive at the time. But if I knew about Revive, then I think I wouldn't have, sold my things, because a lot of them were actually cross-buy. So when you bought them on Quest 1, you could also download them for free on Rift. Especially because when Oculus first came out, they really needed more people to download their games. Right now, I don't think you have so much cross-buy anymore. But yeah, it's a great shame. I lost all my. I remember Robo Recall. That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing, right? It's crazy.
I was just mad that didn't really get much coverage, and it's.
And you were able to play that on the E4. I mean, that's that must be amazing. Like,
yes, that's what I like to do my tests on. Like, when I did my review for it, I was mentioning like stuff that's not officially supported by DPVR. But I made sure I mentioned that in my review. This isn't officially supported, so if you get a mixed sort of experience doing Revive or doing, it's not supported by them, so it's not their problem. It's just
I'm actually very curious to know if people like DPVR were to advertise the fact that the PC, the VR headset was compatible with Oculus Store. I mean that you could play Oculus Store games, even though you wouldn't mention Revive. Whether they'd actually be allowed to do that, and B, if they are allowed to do that, whether it can actually optimize their sales. Because if people seem to think that you can play Oculus games using their headset, then people might go, "Oh, wait a minute, that's pretty cool. Like I don't just have to play Steam."
Pimax don't advertise it, but Pimax, their Pi tool, you can just launch the Oculus games from the Pi tool, and like.
Oh, really?
They've got like in their Pi tool, they've basically got something like Revive built into it.
Okay.
So when you open Pi tool, it'll show you games, it'll show you Oculus ones. You can just click them and it'll just load them. And I'm thinking, I don't know if Oculus know about this.
Yeah, that's a bit cheeky, right?
Yeah.
But that's how things progress. That's what must happen. And it's going to be very interesting to see whether DPVR come out with their own, because they were working with Viveport in the P1 Pro 4K. So if you wanted to play any P1 Pro 4K games, you actually had to have a Viveport account and then play the DPVR games via Viveport. Now, of course, iQIYI in China are one of the major content providers in games. So Lenovo is working with iQIYI. So if you want to play games on Lenovo headset over there, you just launch the Ichi store, basically.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see if DPVR are looking to, in the future, develop their own content store, or whether they would rather just work with third parties.
Yeah.
I would imagine that they were going to have to pay extra fees, though, because already Oculus, for example, Oculus, or maybe Ichi or Pico are charging 30%. And then if you're a licensee, then I guess you're going to have to pay some fees to these people to enable their games to play in natively. I don't know how it works, to be honest, but I would imagine that's what would happen.
Yes, I
don't
did
know.
test. I should say I went you over there. I did test the DPVR with Viveport as well, but I expected that to work fine because Viveport uses SteamVR, so I expected
Yes.
that to not have
Yeah.
any issues, and I've not had issues.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah, Viveport, when using it wirelessly, was a really horrible experience for me. But if you're using it natively from the PC, then of course, there's no issues with it. So, what's one of your favorite titles that you've played with, other than RoboReco, with your DPVR E4? And how often do you stream on your Twitch channel also?
I just sort of go live when I want to. Like
Okay.
sometimes I might go live once a week. Sometimes I might go live every day of the week. I don't like to set myself a schedule in my head because I'd feel like I had to stick to it. Even if something come up, I'd be like, oh, I still need to do that.
Right.
So I just like to go live when I'm in the mood.
Whenever you feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I understand.
But with the DPVR, I like Firmament with the DPVR because it looked nice in there.
Which one? Can you repeat?
Firmament.
Firmament.
Yeah, it's just come out by people who've made Mist.
Okay.
I enjoy playing that in it because it looked nice. Although, again, that's a game where they are working on fixing it, but it's not very. You have to have the shadows on low, or else it runs terrible.
Okay.
Never mind.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just one
PC is
moment.
not.
I just want to welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome to VR Essentials. Just talking here with VR Realm Paul, who has been using the DPVR E4 for quite some time, a good couple of months. So he's given us some really cool insights and also his own point of view after having using it for so long, as to what it's like to use the DPVR E4, which is right here. And do catch the replay of today's live stream as we did the setup and also all the software downloading and all that kind of stuff. So, if you want to catch that, just, scrub back until you come back here. And of course, go and check out the video we did yesterday, which was the unboxing. And we compared a lot of stuff, including the build quality, the comfort, the FOV, and a whole bunch of other things to the Pico 4 and also the HP Reverb G2. Back to you, VR Realm.
So yeah, there's that one. I'm trying to think. I just play whatever comes up. Like I said, Ruins Magus is a good one because that's all.
Which one?
Ruins Magus. It's like a Japanese RPG, so it's all
okay,
like cartoony colours and
Ravens
stuff.
makes
Ruins Magus. I'll put it in the
Ruins
chat.
Magus.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting name. Okay. Cool. And can I ask you about the Paul's had God knows how many VR headsets. I have not enough fingers to be able to count them. Tell me about the screen door effect. When you put the headset on, how do you feel about the screen door compared to, for example, the PSVR 2 that you're using, or your HTC Vive HTC Vive Pro I, or your Quest 2, for example?
I think there is some there because they are using old school Fresnel lenses in the DPVR in the E4,
Right.
so there is some there. It's no worse than what you'll get on a Vive, obviously not the OG Vive. It was really bad on the really first Vive, but like the current level of Vive, same as they're basically using the same Fresnel lenses that the Quest 2 uses, exactly the same. So what you're gonna get on there, it's nowhere near as bad as the PlayStation. The PlayStation VR 2 suffers badly from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Is it because that's very interesting what you're saying, because for me with the Pico 4, and I remember with the Pico Neo 3 link cable, because it's supposed to be completely uncompressed 4K as well. The lenses, now interestingly enough, the lenses don't have screen door. However, the software does. So that means that the software is trying to render everything, right? And because it's got some kind of maybe a millisecond of issue, you can definitely see some lines appearing here and there. But the lenses seem pretty clear. So it seems that screen door effect now is more of a software issue than a hardware issue for more modern VR headsets, right? So with the PSVR 2, do you find that it's more of a software thing, or is it a hardware?
I think it's more of a. I think it's more software. Like you see it a lot more in some games than you see in other games. Like I know it's like the mirror effect as well. That seems to differ per game.
Right.
So I'm not sure. It's probably more software than anything.
And for the color bleeding, now, as I mentioned before, when I was doing the IPD adjustment with the DPVR E4, when I looked at the diamond and when I looked at the box underneath, I could definitely see some color bleeding. But when I was inside of SteamVR Home, I couldn't really see color bleeding. So what's your take on the color bleeding with your experiences in all those different apps?
I've not really noticed it. Like I said, the diamond one, I knew what I needed to set it as, so I didn't even really look at the diamond. I just looked and made sure I'd change it to 63.8.
Right.
And then just clicked OK.
Right.
It could just be maybe the emissions maybe too high on those things, so it has a glow around it and causes it. It could just be something as simple as that. Yes.
Because it wasn't like when I was moving my head around inside the IPD menu, that's not what was causing the bleeding. And also the bleeding wasn't coming from the side of the lenses. It was actually coming right from the middle. So it's possible it's more of a software issue again than a...
Yeah. Might just have the emissions too high in the... Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was inside of SteamVR Home, there's definitely no... I mean, I don't see any bleeding whatsoever. So... It could just be because it's very bright, maybe. I don't know. That could be. I don't know.
Like I could go into my avatar and change just a number, and then I'd get like, not like it'd look like it's coming out the edges of colors and go a bit bright. Like, someone said in the chat there, chromatic
aberration. That's right.
I could go in and just change that, and it would cause like
bleeding.
It would cause like a glow around my hair, which might look like color bleeding to people, but it's just that one. I've set it up 5 decimals or something.
Right.
It's something so simple.
Right. And do you find that the DPVR E4, I mean, how long can you really wear it before you're like, I got to get it off. I got to take it off?
Well, I think one of my Lone Echo 2 streams went on for like 4 hours, and
wow, okay.
I could have kept going. I just had to stop because I was actually getting fatigue a bit, so I was like, I need to stop.
Of course.
It wasn't caused by the headset being uncomfortable or anything. It was more just the length of the session I've just been putting in.
Right.
I think it's like 3 hours and 50 minutes or something, and I just realized like I need to stop and have something to eat and.
Well, you just had to stop for natural causes, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I could have carried on going if I didn't feel like that. I needed to stop for any reason.
I mean, it's the same with me. Like I said yesterday in the stream that with the G2, I could literally go to bed, wake up, take a shower with it, and spend my entire life with the G2 on my face because it's that comfortable, right? In fact, it feels like it's an extension of me more than something I'm wearing, to be honest with you. Yeah. But the Pico, I really have to take it off after an hour, 20 minutes, because it really starts to really hurt my cheeks, especially the upper bone of my cheeks.
Yeah.
And also it starts to hurt the upper part of my forehead because I also have to wear a hat with my Pico 4. I can't wear it without a hat, otherwise it's just too horrible. It doesn't fit my face, basically. So it tightens more on the top of my face too, so I just got to take it off. I remember with the Quest 1 though, because I've never tried the Quest 2. I've never tried it, so I can't talk about that. But the Quest 1 was super comfortable for me. I mean, it was an amazing first-time experience, to be honest with you. They had done such an amazing job on that VR headset. It felt very premium, and when I put it on, it was just amazing, to be honest with you. So I haven't felt that until the G2. took the shape of my face, because I think this is also something that people don't really understand. Like they go into a shop, right? I don't know if you felt this way or you heard these stories, but you go into a shop, you try a VR headset, and you go, it just doesn't feel comfortable. Well, that's because the VR headset needs time to adjust your face. It's not going to fit your face first time right. It's very rare that it will do that. The only VR headset that fit my face the first time round was the Quest 1. That was it. The Oculus Go took a good 5 months before it fit my face properly. The G2 took a good 3 months or 4 months before it fit my face properly. Like, it takes time. The Pico, which I've had now for almost a year, still has not taken the shape of my face. You know, it's like it still hasn't done it. The Pico Neo 3, which I used for about a year and a half, never took the shape of the shape of my face either. So that could just be the quality of the type of material perhaps they used wasn't soft enough. I don't know, or maybe it had too much memory in it to bend back to its original form. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, people need to understand that generally speaking, headsets take time before they really fit like a glove on your hand. What about you in terms of that? What do you think about that? Is it the same kind of thing you feel?
Yeah, it like I said, it seems to get more comfortable over time. Maybe it's like with my Vive Pro I, I've got like a pleather face gasket with a thick foam in it, and when I first put those on, I think the foam eventually like melts to the shape of your face as well.
Right.
Like on the thing inside the faceplate. So maybe that's a big thing. There's one thing I will say about I wish I'd done different on the E4 for comfort is that top head strap only having the 3 sizes. So the top
You mean this one
rubber
here?
across the top,
This one here?
It's,
okay.
Yeah, it's only got 3 sizes. There's no
I've got. Is it 3 or 2? I've got 2 sizes.
It might be 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like. I wish it was just like the normal ones where it's Velcro and you slide it and stick it down.
Yeah. Yeah. And also rubber's not very friendly for the environment, right?
Yeah, so I need it on that top one how it's more comfortable for me.
Right.
But I know someone who tried it around mine, none of them were comfortable for them to get it to fit on the head right. And I was like, well,
right.
I can't just like Velcro it and move it like you can on every other headset. Like I just wish that was a bit more thought about.
Right. That's true. And well, actually, I was saying in yesterday's stream, and guys, do go and check out yesterday's stream with the unboxing as I compared it to the HP Reverb D2 and the Pico 4 in so many different aspects, build quality, comfort, all these different things. So go and check out that video. But I was saying that the top head strap is exactly the same as the previous Pico, the Pico Neo 3. And then the Pico 4, they decided to use a Velcro.
Yeah.
So basically that's very interesting what you're saying. But the other thing is, when I first tried it yesterday, this headset, I said initially, and I was trying to be as polite as I possibly could, basically. But I was also trying to stay true to the fact that what we just talked about is that headsets take time to take the shape of people's faces before it really feels comfortable. So when I put it on, I wasn't trying to say it's a horrible feeling. I was just trying to say, bear in mind that it will take time to feel comfortable. But when I used this for the first time, right, or the second time, whatever, the first few times, without a cap, it just doesn't feel comfortable to me. Like this thing here is too soft for me because I'm wearing glasses. It will literally like go in. Because it just basically, there's nothing there, right? It's just air, basically, right?
Yeah.
So
I think you've managed to mute yourself again. Don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how you managed it. Yeah. I just I mean, I'm bald, so I think everything just feels comfortable on my head. Like, you've got. It's a lot more than I've got. It's a lot more than I've got. Uh, yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I found it with the index, maybe. Yeah. That seemed to take a while. I ended up replacing the actual official faceplate with an unofficial one to try to fix it. I think your microphone switched back to the DPVR for some reason.
So there we go. All good.
Yeah,
All
there
good.
we go.
Right.
Yeah, that's better,
I don't know. I might have touched the microphone by mistake. The cable came off. So just so what I was saying is the chromatic aberration. There is no chromatic aberration actually that we see. I mean, Paul from VR Realm's been using it for a good couple of months, and he says that he doesn't really see any chromatic aberration. I just noticed it when we were inside of the IPD settings panel. So it's very bright. Everything's very bright in there. And also, you can see a box, like a UI box that gives you some instructions and a diamond-shaped thing that you're supposed to look at so that you can actually adjust your IPD. In there, I did definitely see some chromatic aberration or color bleeding of the pixels going yellow and red on the sides of pretty much everything. But inside of SteamVR Home, I didn't see any of that. And VR Realm is saying that when he's been playing, he doesn't see that also. So it's possible it's just a software issue in the IPD panel only, or maybe it only occurs when things are very, very bright. That is also possible. So if you have something very bright in the background, but something very dark in the foreground, then that could occur, but he hasn't noticed it, and I haven't noticed it yet either, only inside of the IPD settings panel. Omar, okay, his comment is, would likes a live stream on the Fury. What's that on the Fury? Would likes a live stream on the Fury. Omar, can you explain a little bit more what you mean? Can you expand on your comment? Because I can't really understand. You should be able to hear me now, Ju.
Yeah, they put that up just before you sorted the mic out. So.
Oh, before I... Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the mic is still working. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so what else? Okay, so, okay. Now, I want to know more about the controllers, if that's okay, Paul. I know you're very busy. Is how comfortable are the controllers when you're playing? Like, honestly speaking, because
I find
G2
them.
are horrible.
I
for
do
me.
find them comfortable.
You find
I've
them
heard people
comfortable,
say
okay.
I've got quite big hands, and I've heard people say the hands are too big to when they try and press buttons to hit the ring because the ring's angled down. They hit the
Right.
knuckle on the ring, and I thought I've got quite big hands, so I don't understand. Like, and I don't do it, so I don't know how big their hands must be. But people are saying like sometimes if that was on the thingy, I find the analogs are a bit low down as well for me.
The what? Sorry,
look
can you
at-
repeat that?
I find the analog sticks are a bit low.
Oh, the joystick.
Yeah, because they're quite close into the controller, and they're more
Right.
like to me
They're
they
in the
make
ring,
me
right?
think of like they make me think of like Nintendo Switch type analogs, where they're a lot closer into the face of the controller
Oh, I get
than
it. Yeah.
out.
They're more like pancakes, right? It's like
Yeah,
flat and low to the
low to the facial
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. You
But-
prefer something a bit higher.
Yeah,
That's got this kind of like dent inside of it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
But I did the work. It just took me a while to get used to them because I'm used to the like higher ones.
Right.
But I find them comfortable to use. I was a
Okay.
bit worried about the build quality at first
Yes.
because they seemed like they were very low build quality compared to what's on the market.
Right.
I've dropped it. I've done all sorts of it, and
To be honest
I've
with
no
you,
issues.
compared to the G2, they're not low build quality. I'm sorry, I love the G2. I love it. Everyone knows that, but the controllers are without the memo grips, because with the memo grips they're absolutely fine. Without the memo grips, they are the
are they just the same as the ones that ship with the like original Windows MR headsets?
well, they're supposed to be better.
Yeah, because
But they're really bad.
I had an Acer one, and for a bit, I bought one just to try a few games that were only on the
Okay.
Windows, their MR store, and then
These are dangerous. They're not just bad quality, they're dangerous. Because literally this thing here is very sharp. It's actually very sharp, this thing. And it's so flat, like you can see it, look. It's so flat that
yeah,
where the glue meets is actually sharp as well here. So when you squeeze, it really hurts the hand. Like it really, really hurts the hand. I don't know who designed it, but I don't think they do VR. I don't think they tried VR before they designed the controller, to be honest.
yeah,
But the great thing is you can put memo grips on them, and that makes a world of difference night and day. They become
yeah,
a very usable controller. I'm just afraid with this because, as I said yesterday, it is also flat on this side
yeah.
and it's round on the other side. That it's going to be very uncomfortable throwing stuff.
Yeah.
But what about you? What's been your? Do you play games where you throw stuff?
Yeah, and the one I was talking about earlier, the Ruins Magus one, you throw grenades in that and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that.
And you were fine
No.
with it.
Yeah, I was fine with it, yeah.
Like, do your
Um,
grenades actually land where you want them to throw?
They don't with with any controller, to be
That's not true. My God, man. That's not true. I mean, the Pico controllers to me, I mean, I haven't tried the Pico one, the Pamex one or Quest 2 ones or
Yeah.
whatever, but the Pico, for me, controllers are the perfect controllers. I mean, every time they just feel so, I think I put them in the box over there, but they're just very balanced. Like on both sides, they're the same shape, and when you put them in your hand, it just feels really comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, what about the PSVR 2 controllers compared to the E4 DPVR?
The only thing I don't like about the PSVR controllers over the DPVR is those tracking rings, the way they wrap it all around your hand like orbs.
So it doesn't work?
It works. It's just I feel it's very easy to clatter them together because they've got this big
Oh,
on
okay.
the PSVR 2 ones because you've like orbs around your hand, aren't they?
But that's so strange that you say that because they're supposed to be like that so that if you do hit them, so that you don't have rings to hit, basically.
Yeah, but it's too easy. Like when you're using them, not like if you bring your hands together in a game, like for any reason, it's
Right.
so easy to
Okay.
hit them. It was made more aware for me as well when a friend came round
Right.
who used the Quest and loved walk around mini golf, so they wanted to see what that looked like on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even though most people use one controller, they
Right.
like to hold both and bring the hands together. Like
Right.
even when the question they were saying like they couldn't do it on there because they just kept
Right. That's
hitting the
very, very
controllers off each
interesting.
other,
Right.
and
And
they
the other
struggled to
thing,
play it with one controller because they're so used to holding both and putting hands next to each other.
right. Well, we thought that with the G2 controllers we'd have some issues too because the The rings are so big. I mean, they're really, really huge.
Mhm.
But you just get used to it, and the body memory, muscle memory starts to kick in, and then you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm just going to do it this way. So your body naturally creates its own movements so that whatever you're using just doesn't become awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the beginning, it's a bit awkward, but then it just becomes part of you, like an extension of you, and you just change playing styles, I guess.
Yeah,
Something
like
like
using
that.
the index controls are weird at first.
Right. I would
And
imagine that.
you just get used to them. Like with it, the grip being like not having a grip button and just having to grip the controller with the hand tracking,
Right.
that being the grip button. It just seemed like so weird when you used to try and throw a grenade because like you didn't
Mhm.
want to. At first, you didn't want to open your hand because you think your controller's going to go across the room,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
and that took some getting used to at first.
Right. And actually, I was going to ask you, what graphics card are you using with your DPVR E4? Or what kind of PC
20.
setup are you using?
I've got a 2080 Ti
Okay, well that's
and
pretty good.
i9. Can I remember them? I've got them on my. I'm going to quickly go to my Twitch page. I've got them
Okay,
on there.
basically he has a better setup than mine. I've got a really
So
basic medium one.
the i9 9000.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was thinking at the time maybe getting that one, but I went with the i7 in the end.
Got the 32 gig of RAM, a 2080 Ti, and using a Crosshair. No, sorry, a Tomahawk, MSI Tomahawk motherboard.
At the time that I bought my 2070, the 2080 Ti, I don't think was available in Singapore, and the price was literally around $2,000. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. And if you buy it today, how much is it? Do you know?
I don't know. I know I got mine when it first. Well, I just bought a whole new PC when it came out because I couldn't be bothered
Yes, I
doing
remember you
any.
told me it made more sense to do that because it's more cost effective. If I
Yeah, it
was
was
to
more
buy
cost effective,
my 2070 today secondhand, I could literally get it for $300. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
Like it's gone down by $1,700. No, at
I-
the time it was $1,300. So it's still
I've-
$1,000 cheaper. It's crazy.
Keep meaning to. I was tempted to upgrade to the 30 series, but obviously there was hard to get hold of, so I just grabbed the. I bought a PlayStation 5 instead for when the PlayStation VR 2 came in.
Oh, right. So you bought the PS5 first before the PSVR 2 came out.
Yeah, I got
you-
the PS5 on day of release because the
Mhm.
graphics card and that were the pre-orders were going up around the same time, weren't they? And when I seen how hard it was to get a
Right.
graphics card, I thought I'll just get the PlayStation 5 now with that graphics card money.
Now I know we can't compare this because PSVR Sony have, exclusive titles and stuff. But if you had, let's say, $600 or $700 to spend, and you couldn't literally spend more than that, would you go for? And you had a PC, and you had a PS5. All right.
Yeah.
Would you go for PSVR 2 or would you go for DPVR E4?
I would go for the E4
Why?
more the size of the library with it being Steam.
Okay.
There's about 50 odd games available at the moment on PlayStation VR 2. Yes, I've got some really good exclusives, but a lot of them are already on Steam. So
Right.
you can any that aren't exclusive you can get on Steam, so you might as well just have them on Steam.
But that's interesting because what you're telling me is that the DPVR E4 seems to be actually giving you some good entertainment value because in terms of hardware, not software, because software obviously, software in terms of coming with the hardware, right? So I'm not talking about software content. I'm talking about hardware, including its own personal DPVR software. Okay, so I'll just call it hardware. That means that it's really actually doing good for you. Like you really feel you have a positive impact with it. Because if it was crap, you would probably just say, no, I'll go with the PSVR, even if it only has 50 titles, because at least I know it works, right? So that means that it's actually giving you good entertainment and a positive experience in terms of build quality, in terms of its hardware, when you're actually playing the software content, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said,
That's very
it's
positive.
basically the Vive Pro I was my daily driver. Never mind what.
Right.
Now I use a Vive Pro I when I want to do stuff with my avatar because, like I said, for the eye tracking, it's got the facial tracker attached to it and everything.
Right.
And this is really the only time I put my Vive on since getting it is just when I want to do stuff with my avatar.
Right. And wait, we have something here. I'm using laptop i7. Oh, okay. And only 6 gigabytes, 360. Sometimes I have to use VR Performance Toolkit to get better frame rates. Okay. Well, I mean, laptops are pretty cool. I was using the HP G7 Fury, which was absolutely amazing. I really recommend using an NVIDIA card for laptops, to be honest with you, because the Ryzen one just on the G8 just wasn't doing it for me. It was loss of frame rates and the performance just wasn't there. So I really do recommend using an Intel chip, and also an NVIDIA for laptops when it comes to laptop laptop VR, although it's PCVR. But yeah, so that's very interesting. Thanks for that, Ju. I had another question for you, which I lost my train of thought. What about, okay, the reason why now your DPVR is your go-to, though you explained earlier, is because your Vive Pro I is too heavy.
Yeah, well, I find it heavy when I put it on, yeah.
Right.
The lightweight of it is just, it's unbelievably light, I found, the
Right.
DPVR.
Do you find that the headset, because I don't think you answered me earlier, when you first tried on the DPVR for the very first time, was it comfortable for you, or did it take some time before you got used to it?
It took a bit of time to...
Okay.
I think it took a bit of time to get, because I can't get it perfectly right with, like as I mentioned before, that strap going across the top being like it is.
Right.
Like the top one's more comfortable for me.
Yeah, he was talking about this strap, this rubber strap here. Okay.
But because I couldn't get it like perfectly right for my head,
there's only two sizes, 1 and 2. There's no Velcro basically. That's what we were trying to explain earlier. But did you try to put a cap on like me and to see if it made any difference?
No, I just
okay.
Might have to try it though.
But now it's okay. Now it's fine. So the headset took the shape of your face. Your
Got
head.
used to it, yeah. I find with because of the way the rubber is, because it's that flexi rubber, it doesn't really take very long.
Right.
Are
you talking about the rubber?
Like the rubber face gasket, yeah.
The the gasket, right? Okay. We can't really call it a gasket, can we?
No.
Because I mean, the gasket's supposed to be tough, right? Hard.
Yeah.
This is more of a facial
rubber facial interface. I don't know what you could call it.
Yeah.
But I think because it's that, it doesn't take long to feel right on your face. But it's also, I'd prefer to have a gasket that would take time.
Right. And this is the question I wanted to ask you. Now, with the G2, there's been a lot of comments about how the sweet spot's very small, like it's just in the center. Personally speaking, I don't have an issue. Why? Because I, generally speaking, do not move left or right with my eyeballs in VR. Do you use your eyeballs, or do you generally move with your head?
I would normally move my head, to be fair.
Right. Which is why most people who have this issue are those who use their eyeballs to look around, which there's nothing wrong with that. Just different people have different styles. So my question to you with the DPVR E4 is, do you find that the sweet spot is big enough for you, or do you find it's too small?
Sometimes I know, like with the Vive, I shot it on. It's fine. And I know sometimes with that, it takes a few times like adjusting position to get it where where you're on the sweet spot.
Okay. Are you using glasses, or do you not use glasses when you?
I don't. I don't use glasses. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as a glasses user, so I was trying to explain to people that when I first tried this headset on yesterday in the unboxing, and please go and check out that video after the live stream, and hit the likes, guys. Give some support to DPVR and thank them for sending us their headset in support of the channel. So hit the likes, guys. Was that if I don't have a cap, it's very uncomfortable for me because it pushes the glasses inside of my nose, which really hurts. And also there's a lot of light coming from the back, and it just doesn't feel comfortable. But when I put the cap on, it's night and day the difference. Suddenly my glasses are fine because there's the little gap here of my cap, so it doesn't push the lens, the headset, my glasses into my head. And also my cap will block the light from coming in, so it's much darker. and it just feels so much more comfortable with my cap on. So guys, if you don't feel comfortable with your headset on, try putting a cap on and see whether you feel it makes a huge difference until the headset takes the shape of your face. Just try it, see what happens, and then maybe you'll find that there's a difference there. Can I ask you another question in terms of now with the Pico Neo 3, the big issue that I have, and sometimes with the Pico 4 even, to be honest with you, is that some of the games in Steam are just like, they feel overblown, like everything feels massive or distorted in a way that everything feels like gigantic, okay? Do you find this issue with the DPVR in Steam, or do you find that everything seems to be fairly, to scale?
Everything seems... I've never noticed anything look overblown or anything. Everything seems scaled very well.
Well, when I was in SteamVR just now and the home, I have to say that it looked exactly like my G2, which is perfect scale. But when I put my Pico 4, sometimes it feels just bigger. Things just feel bigger. And with the Pico Neo 3, everything was definitely bigger all the time. Like, I just couldn't put it on. It would just screw my eyesight so badly. I would just get huge headaches. I just couldn't use it. It was unusable for me, to be honest. Cool.
Yeah, I've never really... I think it's something I would notice if anything had been overblown in size.
Right.
I've never noticed anything like that.
What do you think of the service of DPVR itself? Like, when you deal with them, are they polite to you? Are they disrespectful? I mean, how do you feel that they treat you?
I feel the service is like very, very polite. Like, if you join the Discord, I think there's one thing I tried with using my avatar. I tried with the Vive trackers. Obviously, that use lighthouse tracking. And I thought, will it work? Is it easy to set up? And I couldn't get it working. It's mainly because SteamVR, when it picks up the lighthouse tracking, it picks up the trackers. They automatically become controllers and override the DPVR controllers with them using the inside-out tracking.
Right.
And I put that in there just because someone asked about full body tracking. I said, I've never tried it, but I'll give me 30 minutes. I'll go up and set up and try.
Right.
And when I put it on there, I got a private message through Discord from one of their PR people saying, "Oh, sorry to hear about your controllers. Can you tell us a bit more information? Can you send us a file?" And I said, I didn't mention my, it's not your controllers. It's because I was trying to use lighthouse tracking devices with inside-out tracking headset.
Right.
I said, it happens with the Quest. There's like stuff you have to do to get them to work.
Yes.
But that was within, like, as soon as that person would come online, obviously a different time zone to me. As soon as they'd come online, they'd message me straight away asking what the problem is and if they can help. And I thought, it's not even your problem, but it's more the problem of trying to use two different tracking systems for one thing.
Right.
But you find, like, when people do raise questions or the problems they're having on the Discord, they normally respond to them saying, we'll send you a private message, and then they get stuff sorted.
Right. I have to say that personally, I've never had an issue with DPVR. I've always felt that they were very polite. I've been working with them for a good couple of years, starting with the P1 Pro 4K. They had even sent me an E3, and you know what? The E3 was so terrible. I couldn't do a video. Like, I just couldn't do a video about it.
Yeah.
And they never, like, thought it was, they understood that I couldn't do a video about it. So they didn't take it personally and anything like that. And I have to say that the difference between the P1, the E3 and the E4 is, have you tried the E3? Have you had a chance to try the DPVR E3? Dude, it's night and day, the difference. Like, I can tell right now from the build quality and the software assistant that is completely different, because the E3, the quality is arcade quality, but it's not enterprise arcade. It's like wanting to build a very, very inexpensive arcade and have as many inexpensive headsets as possible. And if they drop and break, it doesn't matter. You can just replace it very quickly with a new one, something like that. So, and also it's not super user friendly. Like, there's no way to really, or at the time, there was no way to change the IPD. It's just another category of its own, which is a very like, okay, I'll watch one movie in VR cinema and then I'm done. That's what the E3 was really built for. It's very dirty, fast, VR experience that you only have for 5 minutes and then you move on. It's not something you would buy to have at home, basically.
Yeah.
So they've really, really progressed amazingly from the E3 to the E4. To be honest with you, the E4 seems to be a much more well thought out headset, I think, compared to the E3 in terms of 6 degrees of freedom. And the other thing is you needed the Nolo with the E3 also, I think, to have the 6 degrees of freedom, which basically made it, renders it unusable because the Nolo system was not very usable too.
Yeah.
But I have to say that their customer service since then, I personally feel that they've always been very friendly. The guy who I deal with, he's always willing to respond to queries like really late at night, like 11 o'clock at night. I'm sending him a message at night so he can reply the next day, but he then replies at night. Or then I'll send an email to their PR people on a Saturday, thinking they'll reply to me on a Monday, right? And on a Sunday evening, they reply to you. It's like, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's the China way, to be honest with you. That's how they work. But it seems to me, tell me if I'm wrong, I find that the software, the website, I think the website could do with a little bit more sprucing up, maybe in terms of the E4 specs at the beginning.
Yeah.
But other than that, I find that the software seems to be quite good. Although we had some issues with the antivirus earlier. So guys, if you have any issues when you download the software, just turn off your antivirus for 15 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it might be. Download it, install it, and then plug in your antivirus once again, because you may get some issues if you have Norton. But other than that, it seems to me like everything seems to be well thought out. They seem to be professional. And they've been in the space for quite a long time. Is that the perception that you're getting from them?
Definitely, yeah. At first, when there was like, you need to install their software to get it to work, it just brought Pimax back to mind because their software was terrible. I was like, oh god, here we go. It's going to be an issue. But
back
using
in the
theirs,
day,
I was like, it's so much more easier. Doesn't seem to be power hungry on your PC. Like, it doesn't seem to be. So I was like, they've done a really good job with the software. It's easy to use, easy to.
Right.
Like I said, when I got the Pimax with the Pi tool, I was just like, this just seems like a right mess to use, a right mess to understand.
Right.
And I thought you could like put me off buying one if I knew this was the thing. So when they said they've got their own software, I was thinking, please say it's good software in my head.
No, I mean, earlier when we were doing the setup, I did have some issues, even though I have very good lighting in my room for VR. I did have some issues with the pop-up, like it just wasn't, going to the next step to finalize the setup. But we found that when I turned on the VR headset after turning on the software first, every VR headset software have their quirks, believe me. So for this one, it could be that you need to power on the software first, then your VR headset, and not the other way around. It really seems like really easy. Like you just plug in the two cables, and plug in the headset, the software, plug in the two cables, and boom, you're off. That's it. There's nothing else to do. I mean, with Pico, as I said before, I have a lot of issues whenever I want to do some PCVR, which I don't with the with the G2. I'm personally going to be very interesting to see whether it's going to overtake the G2. I still feel that the G2 is a much better quality, to be honest with you. Have you had the opportunity to have the G2 in your hands or test it at any time? Okay. Well, basically, the G2 feels like a very solid headset. Like, it's made of plastic, same thing. In fact, at the beginning, I didn't really feel it was a very premium feel. It came later, but now when I compare it, I think it came after I got the Pico. It made me realize how much more premium it felt than the Pico at the time, basically. no, it's definitely more premium, the G2 than the DPVR, but the DPVR is not far from the E4,
Yeah.
but it's not far from the G2 in that respect. Do you think the price $530 is decent price for this headset, or do you think it's too expensive or too cheap?
I think it's priced right for what it does. At first, when I seen the specs were good when I first heard about them, and I was thinking in my head, they must have knocked back on the quality of it, like build of it, to put those specs for that price inside a PCVR headset. And then I was actually shocked when it turned up and the build quality was all right. I expected it to be where maybe they've cut back on some of the costs there, maybe.
Right.
For the specs of being purely PC with the display port for getting rid of any decompression stuff, I think it's priced right to me. I don't think it could have been any.
It's pretty cheap, right? I mean, for a VR
Yeah.
headset, for PCVR, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how many other VR headsets are this price other than the G2? But the reason why the G2 is so cheap is only because they're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
It's because Microsoft has stopped, so they just need to get rid of the inventory, right? They just need to make some money rather than no money at all, right?
Yeah.
But for DPVR, it's a bit different because they're really serious about developing the VR headset. So I think they're just really trying to undercut HTC and undercut HP, basically, right? But I think if this VR headset was $700 or $800, I think it would be a little bit expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
But that's only because, again, other competitors have undercut the market. When they didn't undercut, when Meta, because Meta were the first ones to undercut the market, I believe, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't cut the price of the Quest 2 to $400 or whatever it was, would PCVR headsets still cost $1,000 today? I mean, would this DPVR, no matter what build quality it is, still cost $800, $900 if it wasn't for Quest Meta to bring down the price so low? Because Pico wouldn't have brought down the price so low if it wasn't for Meta, right?
No.
No way they would have done that. I mean, I doubt they would have done that. They would have sold it at whatever Meta was selling it, just a bit cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And we thought that the Meta Quest 3 was going to be $900. Do you remember all those articles coming out saying, oh, it's going to be $800, $900 and then they announced $500 or whatever it is. I mean, it's crazy, right? Which means the Meta Quest 2, until they stop selling it, will be even cheaper. Yeah. Basically. So that's really, really affecting the price of PCVR. Beyond, do you think the Beyond big screen one is too expensive for what it is?
Yeah. When you look at the actual specs of it, to me, it's expensive. The fact that it's not like one you can just invite your friends around to have a go on, because you've got to send this scan of your face and print it to your face shape and stuff. It's like, it's probably going to get rid of that, what we were on about earlier, being uncomfortable when you first get it and getting it used to your face. But it's not a case of you can't just go to your friend, check it out.
And also, I don't know if you watched Terrell's video, but actually they misprinted it, which meant that there was a cut in the nose because the software didn't take his face properly. So when they 3D printed it, there was actually an issue. It wasn't the same as his nose. So he actually had to get it redone, which means, and he didn't get it for the video in time for his video. So it means that he had actually a delay of about probably a month or whatever it would take them to be able to send it back, because the printing is not what takes a long time. It's actually the sending and all that kind of stuff, right? I imagine. Right. Yeah. And there you go. I'm not really quite sure what else we can cover in terms of, the headset. I think we've spoken more or less about everything. If anyone else has any other comments TNG Guru, welcome to VR Essentials. Thank you very much for coming to today's stream. Very nice to see you. Is Pico 4 wired PCVR? Is it good now? Well, basically, no, it's still a standalone VR headset. You can use the wire, but the wire doesn't provide uncompressed PCVR quality, so it's still compressed. It's not bad. It's just that I always have an issue with it, so it's not my go-to PCVR headset. Okay, so I asked you the question earlier, Paul, whether, if you had $600, what would you buy, the PCVR 2 or the E4? If I only had $600 and I didn't have the Pico, I didn't have the G2, I didn't have the E4, I can't tell you right today whether I would spend my money on the E4, to be honest with you, to be fair, because I haven't used it yet, right? But if I had to choose between the G2 and the Pico, I would go with the G2. I don't care. I don't know what you think about this, Paul, but personally speaking, I don't really care for standalone VR. I'm just not into it. I love Pico. I love what they do. I love what they're going to do in the future, but I just don't use the headset simply because I'm not a standalone VR person. I like PCVR. I love it. It's amazing when you're in PCVR. Paul, what do you think about this?
Yeah. My big issue is I would always choose PCVR over. I've basically, like I said earlier, I don't really use my Quest now. I use it if it's like a game that's only out on Quest, is when I'll use my Quest 2 normally.
And on standalone.
Yeah.
Not the Rift
standalone,
store.
Yeah. And I've voiced it on my own podcast before. I think the problem with the standalone and mobile VR is it's where the money is, when it's making people not developed to the best possibilities. Like if you look, for example, recently at the recent showcase, Asgard's Wrath 2, yes, it did look fantastic for something that's running on a standalone.
Right.
But if you play that next to Asgard's Wrath 1, where they made it for
it's not a
PC,
day.
standard PC
Night
game.
and day,
Yeah, and I think although it's moving VR forward in a way of making it accessible to people,
of course,
because you don't need the PC,
definitely.
It's moving it also backwards because we aren't seeing the full potential of what VR can do because they're developing for the standalone ones.
Right.
Because that's where I'd never blame the developers. That's where the money is. So go and do that.
Right.
But
of course.
It just seems like the affordable technology is making it more accessible, but the thing is pushing it backwards.
Yeah.
It's pushing what it's capable of backwards.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I would say that a lot of content creators, the only reason why they use Quest 2 on the channels is for the views, because that's unfortunately all the money of Meta is pumped into the advertising of Google or what have you not. So, versus Pico, for example, like it's very rare for most content creators to get hundreds of thousands of views with their Picos. Like only a very few select get that. But however, with Quest, most people will get decent views. Most people will be able to grow their channels on whatever platform it might be, Twitch or Google or others, right? And that's just because it's an algorithm thing. But if I don't talk to them, so I wouldn't be able to know. But if I was to ask Cass and Cherry, if I was to ask Taro, if I was to ask Nate, if I was to ask Mike and all these guys, right, who are super famous in the world of VR, whether they would prefer PCVR and standalone. Now, I could be wrong because I don't know them and I haven't spoken to them about this, but I'm pretty sure that it's safe to say that 80% of these guys would probably tell you that they actually play PCVR more than they do standalone. That's just my point of view, but I could be completely wrong, or I'm just giving an assumption out there. And when I first started VR, I started with the Oculus Go, which was amazing because it was the first time for me to try VR for 15 years or 20 years. I first tried VR when I was 11 years old in the south of France at a shop with these huge mega things back in the 80s or 90s, sorry. So Go for me was like amazing VR. Like it was just amazing. And then when I tried I didn't have a PC back then either. Then I tried the Oculus Quest 1 and it was just wow. I was gobsmacked with everything. So to be honest with you, if you don't have a PC, you've never tried VR before, and you put on a Pico 4 or you put on a Quest 2 or Quest 3 coming out, you are going to have such an amazing time. Yeah. Believe me, you're going to think, wow, like this is it for me. This is just the bomb in VR. That's how I think. But the moment that, unfortunately, the PCVR filter comes onto your eyes or your brain, you're suddenly going to, especially after a good month or two, and you just purely do PCVR, you're going to go, you know what? I can't do standalone anymore. It's just not possible. And if you go to my video about the MetaQuest showcase, please do go and watch that, guys. I talk about what you can see in the MetaQuest 3 in terms of the graphics. So we speak about shadows, we talk about lighting, we talk about textures, we talk about depth of field, we talk about all these different techniques that developers use to cheat so that basically things run smoothly, and what they compensate on, what they get rid of. And you'd be amazed by all the things that are just, like, for example, a shadow of a character. If he goes under a tree, well, the shadow should be dark, right? I mean, the character should turn dark. He shouldn't continue to look bright like he's under the sun. That's a cheat. So when you're in PCVR, it doesn't happen like that. Everything is fluid. Everything is, there's no baking. That's the word I was looking for. Nothing is baked. Everything is in, I mean, there are still some baked things, but most of everything, like a water texture, when you move the arm, will have all the different refractions and reflections and all this kind of stuff. You don't see that in standalone. Like if you play, what's that game by Vertigo, the zombie one, with the multiplayer?
Arizona Sunshine. Oh, After the Fall.
Yeah, After the Fall. Thank you very much. If you were to play After the Fall on PCVR compared to standalone, night and day the difference.
Yeah, because on the standalone, you don't have torches. Everything's just light enough so you don't have to.
It's just no. But if you don't know PCVR and you've never had the opportunity to play PCVR, you won't know all this, like, because this filter, ignorance is bliss, is what I say. That's why I'm very happy with my RTX 2070. I don't need to upgrade. I'm not interested in testing games at an RTX 380 or 490 because it's going to ruin it for me. Right? It's going to ruin it. It's going to ruin my RTX 2070. So I don't want to. So I'm just saying, for the Pico 4, if you don't have a PC, it's a great headset. And I think the MetaQuest 3 will be a great headset too for those who don't have PCVR, to be honest. So for the E4, just to summarize everything, guys, if you just joined the chat, welcome to VR Essentials. We're here with Paul from VR Realm, who's been using this headset for a good couple of months. DPVR have a very cool Discord, by the way, so do go and check out the Discord. I'll try to put a link in the description below. Otherwise, you could just go to dpvr.com. I believe that's the website. Maybe, I don't know. Just type DPVR in Google, and then you'll find the Discord over there. Yeah, very friendly community. They're not super big yet, but those are there, are very friendly people, very helpful people. And Paul is basically saying that, out of all the VR headsets that you've tried, PSVR 2, HTC Vive Pro I, MetaQuest 2, Pimax, and blah, 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 out of 10, how would you rate the DPVR E4 in terms of, in terms of the playability, comfort, and graphics, 10 being the highest, 0 being the lowest?
I would rate it probably around 7-ish, because there's stuff that could be made better. Okay, there's stuff that could work better. Like I said, the head strap just drives me mad.
So DPVR E4, E5, work on the head strap.
Yeah, I think some people might struggle at the fact it's a Halo strap as well, because I know some people who would not despise Halo head straps. But
is it more of a look and feel thing, or what's the Halo?
For more comfort, I think people find.
Comfort, okay.
But to me, it's the way every headset's going now. So I think that's going to be the norm moving forward. Like every headset seems to be a Halo strap that's coming out now. So
headsets are getting smaller. Now this is what's very strange, guys. DPVR, the E4 actually is almost the same size as the E3, to be honest with you. But I think in weight, it weighs a little bit less than the E3, and that's because the plastic they're using is not a heavy plastic. It's under 500 grams. It is much lighter than my G2. I said this yesterday. Do go and check out that video, guys, and make sure to hit the likes in your support of DPVR for sending us, the headset. The more likes we have, the more thanks we give them, the more people get to see the video as well, and we can grow the community. So I said yesterday in the video that the front is much more front heavy on the G2 than the DPVR E4. That's for sure. The strap, without the strap, apparently it's only 300 grams, which is pretty good. I mean, because we can't have something on the head that's too heavy. Your HTC Vive Pro I is how heavy?
God, I wouldn't like to think. Let's find out.
A kilo? Okay, I mean, you must have amazing neck muscles by using that thing for so long, right? Like a Formula 1 driver. Apparently their muscles are like, neck muscles are pretty big.
Let's have a look. Wait.
Okay, so whilst he's talking about that, now the other thing is there is a little LED thing here that you can change the color. By the way, you can't see it on the camera because it's very faint. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's cool to have, but honestly, I don't know whether it's really a must-have. For me, the only thing that's a bit annoying about the headset is the fact someone who's wearing glasses is that when I do this and I put it back, it automatically hurts me. So the best way for me to take on and take off the headset is not to use this, is to actually physically take it off, do whatever I need to do, and then put the headset back on properly. And also, because this is plastic, this part here, I'm just not sure how long it's going to last before it snaps. That's my only issue in terms of the build quality of this.
Yeah, I'll use that a lot because, I'm not a glasses user, but it's one thing the reason why I also use it as my thingy. It's so easy just to lift up, and especially when I'm trying to stream a game, so easy just to lift up and mess about with OBS and have to take a headset off and things like that.
TNGC Guru has a question asking us whether Pico 4 Quest 2 is better VR headset for PCVR. Honestly, unless you're looking to have a standalone VR experience as well as PCVR, I would say none of them. Because for me, we both have our different view on this, because I don't have the Quest 2. He doesn't have the Pico 4. No, you don't have the Pico 4, right?
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. Okay, and I don't have the Quest 2. So it's just I've always got problems with my Pico 4 when I go into PCVR mode. There's always something not working, and I end up spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to work it out, or I have to restart my computer. This just, even if it takes me 2 minutes to solve it, it's just annoying that there's something going wrong, and I have to do something to make it work. And Paul was saying the same thing earlier about his Quest 2 with the link cable, that sometimes there's something wrong, it doesn't work straight away. So it's better just to use a PCVR headset. So if you're gonna go into PCVR, guys, just buy a PCVR headset that works. It's that simple. Plug and play. So
find this, it's without the head strap, the Vive Pro weighs 550 grams.
Wow.
Which is like nearly
double. So with the head strap, you're looking at about 800 grams at least.
With the strap, 800 grams, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a big deal. 300 grams is a steak. It's like a nice big steak, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you say that, Paul, if you're gonna go into buying a headset that can do both standalone and PCVR, would you? I mean, I would just go for PCVR. I wouldn't even bother going standalone.
No, I would go PCVR if I could.
Yeah.
If you're looking to try and get best of both worlds, like I said, people have different opinions. Like
people have different opinions. That's true.
Maybe they've not tried. Like I've never tried the Pico 4. You never tried the Quest 2.
Okay, so but when you started VR, did you start standalone or PCVR?
I started PlayStation VR.
Well, that's kind of PCVR because the quality is pretty good. Right?
Yeah. So I got the PlayStation VR when it came out.
Okay, and then?
I never really had it because at the time, like yourself, I didn't PC game, so I would know.
So did you go straight into PC after PlayStation, or did you go to standalone first?
I got PlayStation when it came out in 2016.
Okay.
Then May 2017, I upgraded my PC and bought a Vive.
Right.
Like the original Vive, basically.
So what we're trying to tell you is I started standalone. I started with the Oculus Go, guys. Like, it's even worse than the Quest 1. But it was amazing. And then I started with Quest 1, which was even more amazing. And then I went to PCVR, and Every time I had a standalone headset, I never used it. Like very, very rarely used it. So my point is, don't try to go with both worlds. Go with what works best for you. So, you know, with Pico, Pico is a better headset than Quest 2. That's hands down. Okay, you can't say it's a worse headset. It's not possible. It's got better lenses, right? It's pancake lenses. It's got better graphics. It's got better resolution. It's got better IPD adjustment. I mean, come on, it's a newer headset. The Meta Quest 2 is 3 years old, right? Or 2 years old, whatever. Pico is less than a year old. Pico 4. So of course it's a better headset. But the Quest 3 is going to be better than the Pico 4. Right.
Yeah.
And then the Pico 5 would be better than the Quest 3. I mean, you know, come on, guys. That's how it works, right? So I'm just saying, if you want to use PCVR, don't buy a standalone VR headset. It's not going to work. If you want standalone, don't worry about PCVR because they both have their problems. It's always going to have an issue. You're always going to have an issue trying to plug it in, or then you have to get virtual desktop, and the virtual desktop maybe won't work either because they cause bugs because they want their own VR assistant software to work because they don't want the sales to go. I mean, there's all these little games, political games that go on, you know. And also the other issue is that, for example, with Pico, I'll give you an example. I don't use the native VR assistant. Why? Because it bugs my entire computer. I can't use my HP with it. I have to completely uninstall the software and then restart my computer. It just creates bugs in my computer when I'm not even using the Pico. That's what it does, the Pico software. So I can't use it. You know, so I can't actually use it as PCVR, to be honest with you. Unless I use virtual desktop.
So you've got to think as well, like if you're looking, I think if you want PC, like he gives the best advice. If you want PCVR, buy PCVR headset because you've got to think with the Pico 4, you've got to think with the Quest, with the Pico and everything. Yeah. PCVR is a secondary thought. It's standalone that does PCVR.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother buying standalone for PCVR. Like I just would not bother. If I wanted PCVR experience, I would not bother with standalone. Yeah. Because the cable will, believe me, this whole thing about cables goes away really fast. Like you don't feel your cable when you're in VR. If you set it up properly, you won't feel your cable. Even if your cable's attached to your body or is close to you or it's on the floor, it's not rigged, you know, with drills or sticky tape or whatever on around your room, you're gonna be completely fine. Like the cable is all in the head, it's all what people say, but actually you'll be completely fine. Yes, it's true that if you're playing Beat Saber really fast, you know, the cable could get in the way, sure. But most people don't play Beat Saber for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 hours or all their life in VR. They'll play first-person shooters, they'll play car sims. You know, that's what PCVR people do, or adventure games, you know, and then the cable goes away because you're not moving so much in VR 360 anymore. You're generally actually moving around in 180, I would say, wouldn't you? Yeah. So just put the cable behind you, and if you're 180, you won't even think about the cable anymore. So so that's our advice. And then also, I wouldn't buy the Pico 4 right now. Why? One simple reason, really, because the Meta Quest 3 is coming out soon. So it makes no sense to buy the Pico 4 right now. Makes no sense. I would, as much as I love Pico and the team and the people that work there, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying that I would wait for the Quest 3 specs to come out first before splashing your cash, unless, of course, you're someone who has tons of money and you can buy anything you want anytime and you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll just spend $500 this month because I can. Because I don't care about saving my money, because I can save my money and spend money, then fine, do it. But otherwise, if you're someone who's a bit more cautious, likes to keep your nuts, you know, closer to your tree for a rainy day, wait for the Quest 3 specs to come out before you spend your money on any other VR headset that's standalone for that matter, not just the Pico 4. All right, well, I think we've really rounded up. I'm not sure if anyone else has any more questions. I'm using Pico Neo 3 for PPCR, no issues, no using standalone mode. Awesome, cool, Drew, that's really good to know. Awesome. Well, yeah, I think we've done the round of everything. So guys, please hit the notification bell as the next live stream I'll be doing will be a through the lens video, live video. I'll be doing some Half-Life Alyx because I know all of you have voted for Half-Life Alyx, so thank you very much for that, guys. I will be doing that, and of course I'll be doing car sims and all the rest of it. And then also, I think it would be really cool, VR Realm, if you're up for it. You know, I'd love to play some games with you live. If there's a way we could make that happen, I'm not just saying like you saying yes. I'm like finding a technical way of making that happen.
Yeah.
like how are we gonna stream it? Like I haven't actually streamed. Well, I've done it at work, but I haven't done it on my own computer.
Yeah. You just managed to mute your mic. Your ghost mute your mic again.
I should be back now. Can you hear
You're
me?
back now, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm just saying that when I was at work, when I was working for various different companies doing stuff with influencers, we had different gear, so it was very possible to bring everyone together. But because I don't have that gear, I'm not quite sure how we can do it. So we'll just take it offline, talk together. I'd love to play some games with you. What are some of your favorite games that are more, let's say, mainstream that most people know about that are multiplayer? Do you play multiplayer games?
After the Fall. Play a lot of
Okay.
After the Fall and multiplayer.
Okay. So we could do some After the Fall together if you want to. We could try to bring Skiva in.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah,
people
just,
do
like,
we need to be?
jump
4,
in.
5, or 3?
4.
Is it 4?
Well,
Right.
it's up to 4, yeah.
Okay. So maybe we can invite a viewer. If one of you guys want to play with us, we could do an After the Fall special. And then, you know, we'll use our VR headsets. Then one of you can join us if you want to. Otherwise, we could try ask Skiva if he wants to come on board, or whoever. It doesn't have to be, you know, just people who love to play VR, really.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want me to bring more people on board, do live streams of other people, other content creators or gamers, you know, on the channel, hit the likes, leave a comment, you know, let me know what you guys want. You know, I'd like to make it happen for you. I can only live stream twice a week on Fridays and Saturdays. Very rarely I'll be able to do it on Sundays simply because it's already almost 2 o'clock in the morning here and I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. So there you go. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's going to kill me tomorrow, but there you go. Love for the channel, love for you guys, and it's a pleasure. So all good. So yeah, so VR, if you're up for it, not to put you on the spot, but I know you're very busy, but if you'd love to, you know, come back on the channel, you're very, very welcome. Thank you very much for today and your time. And, you know, really love spending time with you. You're really an awesome guy. I've known you for a little while. And guys, if you want to know more about him, go to his Twitch channel. It's twitch.com/TheVRRealm, which is like Realm, so REALM. I'll put a link in the description below after the video. And also, you know, go to Neos. He's in Neos quite often. This guy creates amazing things in Neos. Neos is a virtual social media metaverse platform that's hooked up to the blockchain, by the way, so you can actually buy the tokens as well. It's probably the most advanced social media metaverse platform after VR Chat and Sensor. The graphics are absolutely amazing, but you do need a pretty good PC, I would say, to make it work properly, as it does take a lot of time to boot everything up. But it is going to be the future. Believe me, it's going to overtake everything else. The amount of things you can create in there is mind-boggling. In fact, VR Realm, what is the craziest thing out of all the craziest things that you can create in there as an example?
I don't know if it'll show on camera. Let's find out. You'll have to tell me if I disagree. You'll have to tell me if I
looks for it,
disagree.
I'll tell you one of the experiences I had in there that was crazy, all right? It was when we were with you and Skiva, and then we had fireworks or something, and you go on one of the fireworks, I think it was a firework, and then you get blasted into the sky on the firework, and then it explodes. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do in there. It's just crazy, really crazy.
See, I know this thing.
Okay, so he's going to share his screen. Oh, there
This
you go.
This is a firework, and
Wait,
this little.
let me put you up on the screen. Wait, give me a minute. There you go.
So this is what he's on. There's a firework, and then I'll try and get.
You can light up the firework basically, and you can.
So I'm on
look,
the. I'm on the firework now.
He's on the actual firework. Or
Then
he's
someone-
in Neos right now. This is the VR Realm studio, by the way, inside of Neos. And you can find him in Neos. And look, you can light up the firework. You can't do this in VR Chat or Sensor. and boom, he's gone. That's it. He's gone. And the thing is that the firework will explode and create a whole heap of colors and everything. And it's just absolutely amazing what you can do in Neos. It's just crazy. Guys, you got to go into Neos if you're in VR and you have PC. It's only available in PCVR, by the way. It's just absolutely crazy what you can do in there.
So
Absolutely
there's
massive.
this. I don't know if it might work on camera. I don't know. So this is just like a mirror. And if I look into it,
It's a bit psychedelic, to be honest with you. Oh, wow.
and I bring the mirror back up, I'm still in the world and I can still see everything. But I
Right, but it
disappear for
changes
everyone.
like filter. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it goes like black. It goes to like you're in a black and grey world. But
Wow.
just
Awesome.
other people are in here. They wouldn't be able to see me, but I can
That's
still
really
see
cool.
them. And then I can just bring the mirror up and look in it again. It'll pop me back into the world.
And guys, just to let you know that Paul from the VR Realm has said on camera, because he used to use the the HTC Vive Pro I, because it helps him with the motion tracking and all these kind of things when he's developing his avatar in Neos and various other platforms. But his actual go-to VR headset is now this one for gaming.
Yeah.
So it's not the G2 and it's not other VR headset, and he uses this more often than he actually said that this has better quality for lenses, especially than the PSVR 2, because there are issues with the lenses on the PSVR 2. So I was very surprised that he said he would actually use this more than his PSVR 2, considering the budget that Sony have for a VR headset. So that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So the quality in Neos with this is good.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good to know. Well, Paul from VR Realm, thank you very much for coming by. If no one else has any questions, I think we're going to end the stream for today, because he's a very, very busy guy as well. He's got a lot to do, and thank you very much for coming to the channel today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Very welcome. You don't need. I don't need to invite you. Just invite yourself. Say, look. Can I just come to your channel today? I want to talk about this. I'd be like, yeah, sure. Let's make it happen. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Why not? All right. So everybody, thank you very much for coming to the stream today. That is it. It's the end. I'm going to transition screens in just a moment. And yeah, I'll see you next weekend. I'll do some Half-Life Alyx with the DPVR E4. So make sure to hit the notification bell after subscribe and all the likes to thank DPVR. And also I'd like to thank again DPVR for sending us the headset. You guys are awesome. All right, guys. See you later. Bye, Paul.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.